Well, we can't wait till 7:31 because it will have to start at 7:30.
All right, 7:30. Time to just start at 7:30.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting. Now, start streaming. I'm already streaming, so that's okay. Transition across. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to F1 Tonight NL, the Premier Dutch League. But before we get started, I've got a quick message here from Jonathan Donkel, the CEO of F1 Tonight. So, hi everyone, and good evening. Welcome to Season 6 of F1 Tonight. We've made the necessary changes during a long free period to improve the broadcast quality, so the image improves and the sound quality, making it a far more enjoyable experience. We hope to entertain you and bring your attention to a sport that is accessible to everyone. The field with which we start this season is the same as which we closed Season 5, with one addition. We welcome one new driver to the F1 Tonight family, and that's Remco Hunting. He'll be in the Mercedes alongside seasoned veteran Marco Pullen. What is good to know is that all drivers have intensely prepared for Season 6 and they're going to be all gunning to become season champions. In addition, all drivers will race in the equivalent cars, so there'll be no motor or mechanical benefit of any kind. A level playing field, making it boil down to the driver who performs the best. Our current champion, Dami Hartmann, will defend his title in the Toro Rosso. Last season, Constructors champion for Renault have split this season, so Baz Denbrian is now in the McLaren and Jonathan Donkel goes to Ferrari. F1 Tonight stands for integrity, commitment and respect. All drivers will treat each other with that respect and always enter all battles as honestly as possible. We want to wish everyone success in Season 6 of F1 Tonight with plenty of fun, nail-biting action, and I'm sure some intense battles. Last but not least, we wish to remind all viewers and drivers that Tuesday, September the 10th, F1 Tonight UK will be here at Bahrain for their GP. The British division of F1 Tonight has made a stunning appearance and will mirror the Netherlands League. We have a very talented field of British drivers lined up and we welcome them all warmly and wish all the best for their inaugural season of F1 Tonight UK. Finally, our commentators Adrian and Eddie certainly have a lot of fun in providing the commentary on our races, and we thank you very much for your commitment and dedication to this club. On behalf of all drivers, managers and everyone I might forget, and especially you as a viewer, let's have some fun. So, good words there from Jonathan, and let's kick off straight away and go into the Drivers' Championship as it stands. So, in first place, we have Zander Hermans for Williams on 26 points after Australia, the first race of the season last week. Guido Urshan for McLaren is second with 18 points. Third is Dami Hartmann in the Toro Rosso, last year's Season 5 winner. 4 is Hans van der Berg in the Toro Rosso. 5, Baz Denbrian in the sister McLaren to Guido Urshan. 6, Jonathan Donkel. 7 is teammate Mark Stappers, both in the Ferraris. Peter Phillips in the Haas is 8. 9 is Martin Parder-Cooper in the Alfa Romeo, and 10 is Boy Williamson in the Red Bull. 11, Nicky Visser in the Red Bull. 12, the new driver, Remco Hunting in the McLaren. 13, his teammate, Marco Pullen. Then Renault drivers of Marcel France and Nishay Mahadwa Singh. And then 16, Miguel Torni in the Alfa Romeo. 17 is Paul Quaret in the Haas. 18, Marcel Dronig in the Williams. And 19, Jamie Collane in the Racing Point. Adrian, obviously, due to technical difficulties, I didn't get to watch the race last week. I believe you at least watched some of it. Can you give us a rundown on it, please, mate?
Yeah, sure. I did manage to catch a bit of it in the while I was trying to frantically try and get everything working again. But it was a hard-fought race actually. Sander Hermans, as you see, he's top of the championship there. I believe that's his first win, and he did so in rather treacherous conditions, or at least they were for the second half of the race. Rain started coming down lap 30 at 58, and as soon as it did. He just came alive on the intermediate tyres. He was something like 5 or 6 seconds ahead when the rain began, and when he finished the race, he was nearly a minute ahead of P2. He'd actually lapped everyone up to P4 in that race, which is a remarkable achievement.
Yeah, I would say so, certainly. So you can see there, obviously, from the first race, the standings effectively of that first race. McLaren looking strong and Toro Rosso, but certainly Sander Hermans. I mean, we did point him out as a guy to watch for Season 6, and he certainly kicked off the season with the win and the fastest lap.
Yeah, did very well there. Maximum points there for Hermans. Guido Urschen had a very good race as well. Actually, it was a long time since we've seen him on the podium, and he started off the season very well. Very well indeed.
Well, I've got to say, it is one of his favourite tracks, and certainly in Season 5 he was on the podium as well. So let's hope it's the way that things will progress for him as time goes on, effectively. Okay, so let's now have a look at the Constructors' Championship. And, of course, leading the way are, indeed, McLaren, as we were just discussing, on 28 points. However, you'll see how close this is, because second at Toro Rosso on 27 points. Third at this moment in time is Rocket Williams on 26 points. So very, very close to those top three. Ferrari are fourth with 14 points, and fifth are Haas with 4 points. The other 5 teams, unfortunately, not scoring any points. Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, Red Bull there, Mercedes, Renault, and lastly, but by no means least, Racing Point. Interesting kick-off to the season. I mean, we saw Renault last season dominating from the start. The pair of Baz Dembreyen and John Donkel. We've got a new pair here in McLaren. Obviously, Baz Dembreyen is in there as well, and you said we've got Guido Urschen. What are your thoughts on that? And indeed, Toro Rosso as well.
As you say, it was Renault all the way last season, which I managed to actually call before the season began. I don't know if I can do the same again this season. I know it's only one race in, and it is pretty tight at the top. But I think it's going to be a tight contest between the Toro Rossos and I think the McLaren.
Yeah, indeed.
Off to a good start. And, I think it's going to continue.
I totally agree with you on that one. It's going to be very interesting indeed. So this evening we are here at the Bahrein International Circuit in Sarkir, Bahrain. Quite a well-known track for those of you that are F1 aficionados. But let's have a look. Circuit length is 5.412 kilometers, or 3.362 miles. The total race length is 308.238 kilometers and 191.53 miles. That's not a bad run. And number of laps, 57. 15 corners, as you can see there. Obviously, 3 sectors. Sector 1 takes us up to just before turn 5. Sector 2 takes us to not far short of turn 13, and obviously the third and final sector takes us to the start-finish line. 2 DRS detection and activation points. So the first detection point is just as they are approaching turn 14 and activates on the exit more or less of 15 to the end of the pit lane there before turn 1. And the activation for the second DRS is just before turn 9, and effectively is what I call the back straight between 10 and 11. I wouldn't say it's a standard formation for a racing track, but there are a number of tracks that are somewhat similar to this. I can think of 2 that jump to mind. But it is a challenging track nonetheless, as all tracks are, isn't it, Adrian?
Yeah, it certainly is. Particularly for me, anyway, the sort of end of the first sector, where you got that sweeping left, right, left, and then into the sort of sharp right turn. I think that's turn 8. I really struggle with that particular section, just getting the balance exactly right.
Well, I'm just going to point out that's those areas there that we're looking at now. So you've got that sort of sharp right-hander, you then got the reverse on the left and then back right again. So that's quite a tricky little sector there, isn't it? Or set of turns.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's got raised curbs as well at Bahrain, which can catch you out.
Yeah. Absolutely. For me as well, it's as you're coming round into this second DRS detection point out of 9 here, quite critical, because the drivers know they've got that as they come under effectively round the corner to that back straight. So I'm expecting some interesting little challenges, certainly on that turn 10 and into turn 11 there as well.
Yeah, turn 10 is a bit of a nightmare for some drivers who use, with no assist, particularly having ABS turned off, a real tendency to lock up the outside front tyre as you go into that bend.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you've got some long sweeping turns there as you're coming out of Sector 2 into Sector 3, that turn 12. Hard right on that 13, but the third sector fairly straightforward really. You've only got, well, 3 corners, but 2 effectively really is what you're looking at there. So a lot of speed that can be built up. So this detection point here, again, a lot of drivers are going to be looking to push probably their ERS between 13 and 14 so they can get within that activation point for that start-finish straight. Okay, so let's go across now to the race itself. We have 13 confirmed drivers with us this evening. So we haven't got some technical issues, unfortunately, some of the drivers' experience, but we hope to have those resolved very soon. So Marcel France is not going to be in for us this evening, nor is Martin Parda Cooper in the Alfa Romeo. Jamie Collane in the Racing Point's not in. Damie Hartman, Hans van der Berg, so that team is effectively out. It's going to be rather interesting. And Paul Quaret, who was a recent addition in Season 5, and he's not going to be in either. So we're 13 drivers. So let's have a quick look at those 13 drivers as they are at this moment in time. So Guido Urshan in the McLaren, and Q1 is, I guess the guys are going to treat pretty much as a practice session really, aren't they, Adrian?
Yeah, it's a bit of a sort of the curse of death calling the Q1 a practice, because if you do crash out in Q1, that is it for you. You won't be able to participate in Q2 or 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I understand what you mean though. Drivers will tend to sort of warm themselves up, I suppose, doing a couple of runs in this session, safe in the knowledge that they haven't got to push hard because they're all already through. Much like we had in F1 Tonight UK, actually, we had 14 drivers there. Yeah,
but certainly on Tuesday it didn't diminish the experience at all. I can. Yeah, it was a pretty amazing race. For those of you that haven't caught it, I would highly recommend that you do and have a quick look at that. So Guido Urshan into the pits there. He's done a 128.8 on his initial lap. Actually, let's have a quick look here at what his what the tyres are. So let's bring that up. So Guido Urshan has done that 128.8. Nishay Mahadwa Singh 128.9, Marco Pullen 129.3, and Boy Williamson 129.7. Mike Stapper's on a 130.6, Nicky Visser on a 131.6, and John Donkel is on a 133.567 at this moment in time. So bear with me 1 second, because I just need to check something. I've noticed that I've got a bit of a delay here, so just going to quickly text things out, so bear with me 1 second. We're just going to quickly switch over. Don't go away. We'll be 2 minutes and be back right soon. Adrian, I don't know if you noticed, but there's like a major delay that I've got on here.
Is it?
Yeah.
I hadn't noticed in particular.
Yeah, there was. Between what I'm doing on the buttons and what I'm getting up on the screen, it's about a good 5-second delay.
Okay.
Never
that more than usual?
A lot more. It's almost instantaneous. No, because the problem is, when I'm changing over, I'm going to be changing over to drivers before it's actually happened. And by the way, don't talk because you can be heard. Sorry.
No reason.
Once more, Charles Leclerc down the main straight leads the Austrian.
Okay, so apologies for that. So we were having a little bit of an issue with slight delay on the stream, which would have got very confusing from my point of view, but we have now resolved that. So we're on board with Nicky Visser. John Donkel set a time as well, 133.0. Marcel Dronig not set a time yet, nor indeed has Remco Hunting, the new Mercedes driver. Peter Phillips in the Haas still in the pits. Zander Hermans in the pits as well, and Miguel Torney, although it looks like I think Miguel Torney is actually coming out, or is that Mark Stappers? That is Mark Stappers that's coming out there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I was Stappers, yeah.
There he comes now. So let's just quickly follow him around, get a bit of familiarity with regards to this. So round the turns that we were talking about there, onto that straight now, coming down to turn 4. Round 4, little left kink there of 5, into that right, left 6, 7. Coming down now to almost, well, I'd say almost hairpin, almost is really effectively, that turn 8. Coming down to that 9, there's the DRS active detection point there on that line, round 9 into 10. As I say, this is where I expect to see some interesting overtaking moves. There's the activation point. That brings him down towards turn 11. Quite a hard left. You've got to watch it as you're coming round here. You go over to that right hand side, building up the speed, and it's tricky when you suddenly do that right around 12. You can lose it quite easily there. Down into 13 now, the right hander. Long straight now. Opening up all the gears down to turn 14. There's that activation or detection line rather. Comes round 14 into the kink of 15, on to that start-finish straight. There's the activation point. Takes him past the pit lane.
Just as Stappers starts his hot lap, actually, yeah, I just want to come back to turn 12 you just mentioned. Yeah, that long right-hander. Yeah, it's very commonplace for drivers to lose the back end, particularly if they've cranked up the ERS a little bit too early around that bend in preparation for the DRS activation point.
Yeah.
Obviously, trying to get there quicker.
Oh dear, we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Hopefully no damage there, because obviously these guys need to take care. They're all going to go through to Q2. Normally, obviously, with a full set of drivers, you'd have 20 drivers. So this queue would be reduced to, would be used rather to reduce those 20 drivers to 15. Those 15 going into Q2. And then from those 15, 5 are dropped at the end of Q2, the 5 slowest with the 10 fastest, then going through to Q3 to set their grid positions. In this instance, obviously, as I said, right at the beginning, it's going to be used as a practice session. Before we go too much further, I would also like to mention that we will be paying our respects during the course of the race to Antoine Hubert, who unfortunately had a horrific accident in Spa and lost his life, and we send our condolences obviously to his family and friends. And as a mark of respect, lap 19 we will run silent, as that indeed was his racing number. So just to make you aware, lap 19 we will be running silent as a mark of respect for Antoine Hubert.
Yeah, it's a nice touch, that.
Okay, so Zander Hermans out on track at this moment in time. Just coming up to that turn 11. Let's go quickly on board and around that 11. This is what we're talking about. As he comes around here, you've got to watch it, because you've got... It's also... oh! And there he is! That's exactly what happens. It's that reverse camber, and that's exactly what we were talking about, wasn't it, Adrian?
Yeah, exactly. Spot on. It's yeah, not great to see the Williams in the wall there, but yeah, fortunately he's managed to keep it in one piece, so he's able to continue. He'll just come in and maybe say a few prayers.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit unfortunate there for Zander, that's for sure. Obviously our race winner from last week, but good man. He performed right on cue though, didn't he, for the broadcast?
I think it's more a case of you jinxing him. He got nervous.
Oh, Adrian, seriously? Do you honestly believe in the commentator's curse?
I never used to. Yes, I do.
But since you've been doing this, you certainly have, haven't you?
I do now.
Yeah, you do now, that's for sure. Well, Baz de Bruijn has set a good time there, 128.698. And his teammate Guido Urshan there with a 128.855. So only a couple of tenths there effectively between them. Bodes well, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, both McLarens looking really strong. I know it's only Q1 and nobody's, you know, in theory trying too hard, but both the orange cars are 1 and 2 at the moment. Indeed.
And indeed, even, well, our recent arrival, Nishay Mahadwa Singh, he's put in quite a performance there as well with a 128.9, only just under, well, 9 tenths off the back of Guido Urshan.
Yeah, he's impressed me so far, despite not finishing. I don't think he completed the second lap actually at Australia. But his qualifying pace certainly last week was phenomenal, and there he is again in P4 as Nicky Visser actually just pips him to P3.
So, somewhat
but,
reminiscent,
keep an eye on him.
Somewhat reminiscent of Zander Hermans in season 5, I think, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it is, following in the footsteps. Remco Hunting as well, just he's in P10 at the moment, obviously finished the session. He's another new driver, and well, he's not been in very long, sorry, and yeah, he's...
well, he had a baptism by fire, didn't he, last week?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to make of him yet, but yeah, I've certainly got my eye firmly on him.
Yeah, I think it's certainly going to be very interesting to keep an eye on him. I totally agree. So we're just waiting for the drivers to finish this session, and then we'll move on to Q2. Those of you unfamiliar with F1, I obviously ran through what happens in the various qualifications, where you go from 20 in Q1 to 15 in Q2 and then the final 10 in Q3. Another little interesting point for you is that with regards to that, in Q2, the guys that actually finish in the top 10, effectively go through to Q3, have to start the race on the tyre with which they set that fastest lap in Q2. Now, reason I mention is that as we have effectively 3 compounds of tyres, although I suspect that we're unlikely to see the hard in use today, but who knows? We're more likely, I think, to see the medium and the soft. So the soft tyre, as the name suggests, is the softest compound, and that is the red wall tyre, and the yellow wall tyre is the medium compound, and the white wall tyre is the hard compound. So keep an eye on that, because that does come into play, doesn't it, in this second qualification round. It's not unsurprising to see the guys actually sort of give something away from the race, effectively.
Yeah, they sort of have to show at least a couple of their cards in their hand in Q2, because they are, yeah, as you said, they will be starting the race on whichever tyre they set their fastest lap in this session in, provided they get through to Q3. So yeah, you sort of get to see some of the strategy options, or the start of the strategy options at least, for the drivers in this session.
Indeed, and quite a number of drivers coming out simultaneously there, and I don't know if you can give me the lead driver, Adrian, so I can focus in on them. I think it's actually Marco Pullen.
Yes, Pullen come out first.
Yeah.
Yes, he did, yes. Followed quickly by Visser and Williamson.
So Marco Pullen in the Mercedes there, first man out on tracks. Seasoned veteran, I love that description of Marco, but it is very true. He certainly is a seasoned veteran. You know, he has moments of absolute inspiration, and then it's followed by absolute sort of direness, I suppose is the best way to put it. But I mean, he is definitely a driver that has all the potential, isn't he?
Oh yeah, big time. I've been a fan fan of Mark Stafford since since
Not Mark Stafford, sorry, Marco
first
Pullen.
commentary.
Marco Pullen, Adrian.
Pullen. Oh yeah, I've been a fan of his as well.
Indeed. Get with the program. Get with the program.
Yeah. Sorry, I knew who I meant. I knew who I meant. Yeah, 'cause he drove. Funnily enough, both he and Stafford both drove for Sauber.
Yes.
Sauber as it was back then in F1
Indeed.
17 in season 4 of F1 Tonight. Might be why I got the two confused just then, because I was just thinking about that. But yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know if we've seen Pullen sort of get as high as the podium, but as you say, he's a seasoned veteran, and I'm sure it's just a matter of time for him.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that. And behind him is actually Nicky Visser. Oh, let's get rid of that. I thought I'd switch that off. So Nicky Visser is just in behind him in the Red Bull there. And definitely a seasoned veteran. Nicky, I mean, a great racer. He has a lot of luck when it comes to his racing. Unfortunately, it tends to be mostly bad luck.
Yes, yeah, 100%. I know I've often mentioned it, but yeah, again, that first race that I commentated on was Hungary, season 4, and Nicky Visser was leading the race. Pitted in about lap 45 of 70, and Codemasters decided they were going to close the pit lane for him. They put a big wall in the way.
We
and
actually,
unfortunately crashed his car.
Indeed. Well, myself, well, obviously, Nicky was co-commentating me with on Tuesday night for the F1 Tonight UK season start, and we actually made reference to that during the broadcast. And honestly, if anybody's watching this and you just want to see something that is totally bizarre, do catch the season 4 race Hungary on YouTube and have a look at that, because it's just amazing, isn't it?
It is. That race had 5 different leaders, and 4 of them crashed while leading.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, we'll be talking. Nicky's actually set the fastest time there. So great run from him. He said a 1:29.389. We're currently on board with his teammate, Boy Williamson. He's done a 1:29.8. Now, interesting, both these guys are on the medium tyres, and yeah, very interesting indeed with regard to that. Let's have a quick look here at Nishay. And as I said, Nishay Mahadwa Singh obviously came and joined us in season 5, and yeah, he's got the experience under his. He's got that experience now, I think, and you can see he's definitely setting some blinding times here. I mean, look at that. I mean, a 1:28.75. He is on the soft tyres, but a good run there from Nishay.
Yeah, he's rapidly improving his 1 lap pace. I've yet to see something from him in the actual race itself, in terms of his kind of overall racecraft. I mean, obviously, you know, this league's full of clean drivers, but it's just about having that right amount of aggression to be able to make your overtakes. We saw actually Sander Hermans in the end of season 4, I think it was, at Abu Dhabi finale. He was battling with Baz Adrian for I think it was for P3 at the time, and he kind of, oh sorry, Miguel Torni's
Miguel Torni
crashed his Alpha.
Yeah, he has crashed
12.
his Alpha, and I'm just having a look. That was actually out of turn 2, wasn't it? There he is.
It looked to me, I had a reverse view. It looked like 12 to me, but
oh, it could be. Oh, it is.
Might be 2.
No, I think you're right. No, I think it is 12. Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. And I was just on board there with Sander Hermans, who we were making reference to, obviously, a little while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, another good driver, another driver that's come on fantastically well as well. Zander there in the Rocket Williams, putting in a 1:28.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, when he was battling with De Bruyne, who was, you know, De Bruyne's an ex-champion, and it was Sander Hermans' first season. He was a little bit reluctant to sort of go for the move, but since then, he's improved massively in terms of his race confidence and just going for overtakes when he knows he can.
Yeah, definitely. And these guys, these are all new bloods effectively coming through. And John Donkel on his out lap there. Brasden Brayan, is he on a fast lap?
De Bruyne he's purple 1 and 2 actually.
All right, so let's get on board with him now. Comes round those final 2 corners. On to that stat. What is Baz going to do? Actually, saying that, it would help if I did that. Look
he
at
won
that.
by 7/10.
Oh my goodness me. 1:28.0, 7/10. Indeed, Adrian. Okay, he's on the soft tyres, but that is looking good for Den Brayan.
Yeah, more than half of those 7/10 were in the first sector alone. His final sector was still the fastest, but pretty much the same as Mahadwa Singh. But yeah, first sector 4/10 up, second sector 3/10 up.
So good run from him, certainly. And actually, we might as well have a quick look at his teammate there, because Guido Urschen setting a time as well, and yeah, respectable time there, for 1:29.6. 1.5 seconds though off his teammate at this moment in time. I've got a sneaking suspicion he must have made some sort of mistake, because on their Q1 times, I think he's got a little bit more in him than that.
Yeah, it looked like it was all in the first sector actually, whatever that mistake was, because his second and third are okay. They're sort of top 3. But yeah, I wouldn't have thought that 29.6 is safe.
No, definitely not. I don't think it is, but I think he's got more in him. So from that point of view, it's going to be interesting to see what he can actually do. So I believe he's got more in him. Let's see what he can actually do out on track today, and certainly in this queue. Say 7, it is looking a little bit precarious. I mean, let's have a quick look here. We've got 3 drivers on 128. The rest of the drivers all in the majority, certainly in the 129s, down to Marcel Dronig in the Rocket Williams there. And again, Marcel Dronig, another driver that has, you know, progressed throughout the seasons again, hasn't he? He's driving for Haas last year, but performed well, and I think he's going to be in for a good season as well with this Rocket Williams team.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, as you say, he was with Haas last season. His teammate won the Drivers' Championship. No, he didn't. He didn't win the Drivers'
No, he didn't win. He had won a number of championships, but not last year. That was Damie. But
that was Damie last season.
So
yeah.
obviously, I think I'm expecting good things from Dronig this year. I've got to say.
Yeah,
or this season rather.
He's another one you could call a seasoned veteran. Yeah, he's been in F1 tonight a long time, done plenty of races, and yeah, again, I'm sure it is just a matter of time before we do see him scoring some good points. Yeah,
I'm got to say, I'm inclined to agree with you on that one. So let's have a quick look here. Obviously, Marcel Dronig we know there, but let's have a look here. Peter Phillips in the Haas. Peter Phillips still in those 130s, and at the moment very clearly in that drop zone. He needs to really, well, it's difficult to say, but I mean, he really needs to take a good second out of that pace, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, and his tyres are just getting older and older, and he's getting the energy in his engine is escaping. He's down to just 9%. That's not going to be be enough to improve on that lap time. He might as well click it down to 0. You know, concede this lap, come in the pit, and go back out fresh.
Yeah. Well, we've got just under 4 minutes remaining, so there isn't much time there. If he's going to come into the pits, he's going to have to get in there pretty sharpish. Get some boots on it and get out if he's going to defend that position. And in the meantime, Remco Hunting has gone out.
Yeah, he's retired from the session. I think that's on track. Oh yes, it was. It was. Where is that? Oh, it looks like turn 7.
So Remco Hunting is out. So Miguel Torni will be starting in 13th place. Remco Hunting will be starting in 12th. And at this moment in time, Peter Phillips is looking as if he's going for 11. He has come into the pits now, Phillips. So he's going to be looking for a quick tyre change. A bit of squirt of fuel in there.
This is a golden opportunity now for Phillips, now that Hunting is retired, because only one driver will drop out. So all Phillips has to do is beat one of these 10 drivers, and he will go through. And I think he's got time and the ability to be able to do that. Meanwhile, by the way, Marcel Dronig actually went P4. He was on a hot lap while we were discussing Phillips. But yeah, P4 right behind his teammate. That's impressive.
That is impressive at this moment in time. And we've got Baz de Bruijn in first in that McLaren with a 128.0. Nishay Mahadwa Singh 128.7. Zander Hermans with a 128.7 in the Haas. And Marcel Dronig with a 128.9. So only 2/10 off his teammate there. So good run there from Dronig at this moment in time. Yeah,
really good stuff. Really good stuff. Baz de Bruijn, though, I don't know anyone's going to be catching him in the race if he's sort of this much quicker than the field.
I've got to say, he is showing some good pace there, but I'm very interested, really, with those medium runners. I mean, Nicky Visser, he's gone out on the softs now. He's just coming towards the end of his outlap, so I think I'll go on board with him for the actual fast lap there. But yeah, this is looking very interesting indeed. And John Donkel and Marco Pullen, only 2 drivers at the moment in that top 10 with the mediums. And I've got to say, obviously, they're not in a hell of a lot of danger. I mean, Peter Phillips, if he's going to come in there, he's only potentially going to knock either Boy or Max Verstappen or even Guido Urshon out. So it's going to be very interesting indeed.
Yeah, yes, could be tough. I think Boyd Williamson might be under
Yellow
some real
flag.
pressure here if he.
What's that for?
Yeah, it's in sector 1. Oh, I think that was
sector
just someone slowing down.
Oh, right, okay. Nicky Visser actually coming into the pit, so what's he going to do there? Is he going to...
Yeah,
I think he's going to go on to a set of mediums, you know, and try and get out there quick. Oh, no, he's not. No, he can't be. He's only 43 seconds remaining. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, that is it. I think that is it, indeed, for this Q2 session.
Boy's on a hot lap at the moment. Phillips needs to start this, and he's going to start his hot lap with 20 seconds or so remaining. So it's going to be between Phillips and Williamson in this lap. Williamson's actually on an invalidated lap, so it's all in Phillips' hands now.
Yeah, indeed. Because can he cross the line in time though? If he crosses before that marker goes out, he's got another run at it, isn't he, Boy?
This is his hot lap. Oh yes, and yeah, Boy's got another run. Oh no, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't.
I think this lap's invalidated too. I'm just waiting for him to cross the first sector. I think this lap's invalidated.
Okay, well, let's go on board in that case with Peter Phillips. Just coming round turn 8, down towards 9, into 10 now.
Oh, it's not invalid. It's
not invalid. Okay, well, Phillips will cross the line first, so we'll stay with Phillips at this moment in time, and we can then switch to Boy.
Boy's a 10th up on Phillips at the moment.
Right, Phillips coming round that infamous turn 12 there, into 13. Push now. Down.
Not a good second sector from Phillips.
It's not. Into 15, round 16, and he's not going to better that time, I think. Well, he's going to better.
Boy's half a second up. I don't know if Phillips will better his own time. Oh, he has.
He has.
1:29.8. Yeah, Boy's going to.
But it's still not enough, is it? Boy Williamson coming out. 16 onto that straight now. Yeah, and that's it.
P5.
The P5, P7 for Boy Williamson.
P7, apologies.
So good one there. So very interesting indeed. We've got 2 drivers on those medium tyres, and that's Nicky Visser. Oh, Nicky Visser. Oh, he said he did. I thought Nicky Visser was on the medium, so he did set a fast time on the medium. He just went out on the soft. So
he didn't.
He's done a 1:29.1 on the medium, 1:29.3 from John Donkel in the Ferrari, and a 1:29.5 from Marco Pullen. So watch those guys. They will be able to go deeper into the race. Indeed, in the drop zone, starting P11, row 6 will be Peter Phillips. Alongside in P12 will be Remco Hunting in the Mercedes. And in row 7, P13, will be Miguel Tourney in the Alfa Romeo. All right, Adrian. Are you going to call for pole, my friend?
It has to be Baz de Bruyne, without a shadow of a doubt. On that kind of pace, I've got to give it to the Season 2 champion.
Well, okay. You made it tough for me now, haven't you?
I thought I'd go with the favourite this time.
Okay, I'm actually going to go with the man that's at the top of this list currently. I'm going to go with Nishay Mahadwa Singh for this one.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting because I have no idea what his race pace is really like. We saw him in a few races at the end of last season. It wasn't anything particularly spectacular. But as I said, his qualifying pace is phenomenal at the start of this season and in some testing sessions that we ran previous as well.
And indeed, Ashley Nishay is the first man out on track. So Nishay Mahadwa Singh, first man out on track in this Q3. He wants to get that time done ASAP. All the drivers, I haven't bothered selecting the tyre choice there because I can pretty much guarantee that all the guys are going to be on that soft compound tyre. So this to me is a big message from Nishay. First man out of the pits. He's got his setup ready. He's happy. He wants to go for it. He wants to set that time. This is to me somebody that's quite confident in this Q3 session. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, it does seem to be. Yeah, I mean, it's always nice having your name at the sort of top or near the top of any leaderboard or qualifying session. And yeah, I think if he can take pole here, I think he's got in with a good shout of going on to win the race as well.
Well, actually, I think we'll stay on board when we're coming round 11, 12, as he is the first man out on track. Looks like he's going to do fairly well. So let's stay on board with him as he comes round. And I'd like to stay on board for these fast laps because you do get a great sensation of what these guys actually go through. Obviously, in the real world broadcasts, they do use onboards as well, but I sometimes think they don't quite use it enough because you get a much better sensation of what these guys actually have to do on track when you're watching it in this from this viewpoint.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's a lot to think about when you're sort of in the car, actually in the race. Yeah, it's a little bit perhaps easier watching them as a spectator.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing as well that I like to point out to people is, in the real world F1, you've got a whole team of people backing you up, telling you, where you're going wrong, and and just as I said where you're going wrong, Nishay hits those high curbs, and funnily enough, that's it then, isn't it? So he's scrubbed that one, but I did notice, obviously, Baz go past him there. So let's get quick on board with Baz Bahrein.
Baz is third fastest in the first sector. Fastest man in the first sector is Sander Herman. Oh no, it's not anymore because it's Roy Williamson actually is fastest. But yeah, keep an eye on Baz, I think.
On Baz Bahrein.
Purple in the second.
Round the final corner.
38-0.
What is he going to be able to deliver?
Visser with that 28.8 opening lap.
What can Bahrein do? Oh, nice. Very, very nice indeed. So Baz sets a 128.3. Nicky Visser 128.8. Marcel Dronig a 129.1. But Baz Bahrein, good run from him. Puts him in that provisional pole place.
Baz is over half a second faster than anybody in the middle sector.
Goodness me. Well, John Donkel only, about tenth and a half, tenth and a quarter behind him at this moment in time. So John Donkel in the Ferrari, good run from him as well. 128.4.
Yeah, that is a respectable time from the Ferrari man and the league owner, of course.
Yes, indeed. Well, he would be, wouldn't he, driving a Ferrari? As he throws the keys down on the table when he walks in. So, John Donkel, good run there from John Donkel in the Ferrari. Puts him provisional second place. So, Ferrari pulling out the stops for Q3. Somewhat similar to real world there, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I was just about to say that actually. Yeah, it's not a bad run from John. Just waiting to see what Mark can actually do in the other Ferrari. We know he's a man who runs no assists, cockpit view. He's sort of full hardcore.
Indeed, and I've got to say actually, it's nice to see Mark Stapper's in a Ferrari this season. Formerly racing in the previous seasons with Alfa Romeo. So first time in the Ferrari seat. He's teamed up obviously with John Donkel, good experienced driver, and certainly had a blinding season 5, I've got to say. I think this could be a very interesting pairing actually for this season 6.
Yeah, I think so. I know John likes to sort of be teammates with every member of the league at some point. And I think this could be a good partnership actually between John and Mark.
Yeah, I remember last season, in watching Mark, and we had a conversation with him, but we tended, because as you say, and it's worthwhile pointing out, he races with no assists whatsoever and in cockpit view. But I couldn't help noticing on a number of races, he had a bit of an issue in locking up, but he didn't sort of see it himself, but we certainly saw it. But I'm not seeing that now.
No, yeah, I'm not seeing it. We're a little one there, but yeah, it's sometimes the game will show a lock up, even though the driver himself
definitely locking up there into
big one there into 8.
Yeah, definitely into that turn 9 there. So, yeah, so it's interesting to see. I think it is going to be a good pairing, and I think the I don't know. I've got a really, I mean, not saying that any previous seasons have been bad, because they haven't, but I've got a real good feeling about this season. I think we're really going to see some good racing, and I think this is going to be a hard-fought championship for this season 6.
Yeah, I think it will be. Yeah, I mean, with that, I wouldn't say surprise victory from Hermans, because I think that's been a long time coming as well. But yeah, we've got drivers like Sander Hermans, Nishay Mahadasingh, and obviously seasoned veterans, seasoned champions like Baz de Breen as well. So yeah, there's lots of competition, and it could go either way. Could go any way, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And my dyslexia coming into play there. So Nishay Mahadasingh in the Renault, coming round 11 now.
Oh, Stappers has lost it.
12.
Sorry, Stappers has lost it around 4, I think that is. Is that turn 4? What I call the swimming pool area. Who knows? It's not a swimming pool.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Adrian, I just haven't got an answer for that one. You actually have stumped me on that one, Adrian. Do you realise how rare that is?
What? You don't get swimming pools in the middle of the desert, no?
No, well you do, but not on this track and not on that corner. But anyway. In the meantime, Nishay Mahadasingh, who we were running on board with, takes second row P4.
Yeah, that's not too shabby.
That is
That's
not
and he's got
too
more to give
shabby.
as well. He's got more to give. It wasn't even his best first sector. He's quite a way off actually, his first sector.
Well, I've got to say, this is very, very good indeed so far. So at this moment in time, let's have a quick look through this. We've got Baz de Breen in this P1 position. Well, that's 128.3. Closest so far, about 10th and a quarter off John Donkel in the Ferrari. Then the
John's purple in the first sector, by the way. I think he might.
He's just gone over that rumble strip a bit harshly, though. So I don't know if he's going to. Maintain that. Let's stay on board with him.
Sander Hermans on an equally fast lap as well, both on 28.1s in the first sector. John and Sander Hermans.
We're on board at the moment with John Donkel in the Ferrari as he comes round 11 into 12.
De Breen on the left too. He's 2 tenths behind John.
Oh, he's gone wide.
He's gone wide.
He's gone wide. That's invalidated. So John Donkel invalidating his lap there. Sander Hermans, as I say, he's currently in P3. And Marco Pullen has left the session. So Marco Pullen is out. Sander Hermans in the Williams is currently row 2, P3. Boy Williamson in the Red Bull, currently P4, row 2. Nishay Mahadasingh, row 3, P5. Nicky Visser in the Red Bull alongside him. Marcel Dronig at the moment, P7. Row 4, Guido Urshan next door to him. Marco Pullen out, and Mark Stappers is in row 5 at this moment in time. So just over 1 minute remaining. Guido Urshan is going to be the last man, I think, to set a lap. He's actually on his out lap now. I don't know if he's going to actually make it. Is he going to make it? He's got a minute left.
Yeah, he should do. Yeah. De Breen just done a 28.0, by the way. He hasn't.
Yeah, I've just seen that. 128.052. So De Breen has set a blinding blinding lap. I think he's pretty much, well, he has definitely, I think, sealed. John Donkel's in the pits. He's not going to be coming out. I mean, Zander Hermans is out on track, but I'm sure if he was doing some purple sectors there, you would have enlightened us. So I think Baz is pretty safe on that row R1 P1 in that McLaren at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. And his former teammate in P2 as well, John Donkel.
So Mark Stapper's now coming round. He's run out of fuel, I think. He's so slow, he's not going to be doing anything.
Yes.
Guido Urshan now coming down round
no, he hasn't.
9
He hasn't.
into 10. So let's see. Can this second McLaren disturb these this front row? Can he push that Ferrari of John Donkel out? He needs to be hitting sub 128.4, and I've got to say it's not looking too bad at this moment in time. 107 sector 2 time. This is a possibility here, I think, Adrian.
It's possible. I have to say it's probably quite unlikely. I think this is going to be about a 28.5. This might go P4.
Yeah, he has gone over.
No, it's
29.2. Oh, so he stays in that 8th place. So Guido Urshan will be starting in row 4, P8. So
I just think as well, he's on a hot lap still.
Nishay still on the.
No, he hasn't. No, he's calming down. He's on mode 0.
Zander Hermans. Zander Hermans on a fast lap or not?
No,
he's not. He's into the pits. Okay, so that is it. We'll run through that, but I think that's pretty straightforward. But that is very interesting indeed, because those Red Bulls seem to come up out of nowhere there, didn't they? Nicky Visser and Boy Williamson.
Visser's only 2 100ths off of.
Yeah, I was just looking. He's done a 128.077.
What? He didn't even have a purple sector.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Red Bulls, we were talking about Ferrari dialing it up, but I think the Red Bull guys have done exactly that. I mean, you know, we were saying obviously they got through to Q3. Q3, but that's a little bit left field. I didn't see that one coming, Adrian.
No, I did. Well, you know, Nicky's a brilliant driver, as is Boy. But yeah, P2 and P4. That's very good for Red Bull, and very good for me, of course, because the obviously the Super League Championship, which takes into consideration both all the drivers from F1 Tonight Netherlands and F1 Tonight UK, and scores them in a combined constructors championship.
Wow, and that's very interesting indeed. So we have the combined championship, the Super League. I've got to say, I'm not going to be making too much reference to that during the races, but I've got a sneaky suspicion there may be I'll leave that to you. I've got a sneaky suspicion there may be something that might come up during the course of that as well, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Baz de Breen on pole, though. Well done.
Baz de Breen indeed on pole. Nicky Visser alongside him in that Red Bull, and he'll actually have his. Oh.
It happened, didn't it?
It happened. Okay, so just to make you aware, people, don't panic. I'm going to put on some promos for you. Don't go away. We will be right back. Unfortunately, this is a glitch with the game, so we just need to reset. Take about 5 or 6 minutes. So in the meantime, go and make a cup of tea, go and get yourself a drink, watch the promos, and we will be back very shortly indeed. Okay, so I've muted my mic. Don't think your speech will come across anyway, but oh no, I haven't.
sorry, I am here. I am here. Are we still live? Are we still live? Are we still live?
Here we go once more. Charles Leclerc down the main straight, leads the Austrian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen behind him, separated by a few car lengths. There are 3 laps to go. Leclerc knows what's coming. Towards turn 3, is he going to go inside or outside? Which way's Verstappen going to go here? DRS wide open, gaining on the Ferrari, switches early Verstappen, late braking, Leclerc this time might just have to give way as he goes off the track, and when he comes back on, Max Verstappen has just sent Holland into raptures. He leads the Austrian Grand Prix. What a battle this has been.
Are coming on, and we are go for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Baz the Prix pulls away. John Douglas stays behind. Hansen moves up there. Hansen and Danny Harbour moves up to 5th place. Welcome to F1 tonight. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to F1 tonight. Here we are at the season finale, and we are here at Abu Dhabi, in the fair shores of the Middle East here in the United Arab Emirates. This is an evening, nighttime race to close the season, and what a season it has been. We are ready, and we're off for the start of this Abu Dhabi F1 Season 4 finale Grand Prix. And already, look at that, the Haas already moving up, really challenging Basta Green, Boy Williamson there, pulling away very convincingly, and Guido Airshine has dropped back. Look at this, he's dropped back already to 5th place. Boy Williamson very much challenging. We can see in the background there Marco Pullen as well with the Sauber, having a few issues there, not too sure what's happened. Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome to F1 tonight. And we are here at Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. Okay, so welcome back, everybody, and we are back live. Apologies for that technical glitch from ourselves, and for Code Messers, please give us a safe platform. You gave us League Racing this season, but we need it to work. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Adrian. Sorry, mate, I actually had you muted there. Say that again.
I don't know if I can broadcast my thoughts.
No, probably not. But we are back anyway. No panic there. We are here for the start now of this F1 tonight race.
I haven't got it on.
That's interesting.
Oh, I haven't got my volume on.
Okay. It's because I'm talking so loud I can hear myself. I have no idea why I did that in a German accent. For any German viewers, I do apologise. Okay, so drivers are getting ready, and you should see the ticks coming up on the right-hand side there, and then we'll be away for the processional lap. And Adrian, you know what I'm going to ask you, don't you?
Is it who's going to win the race?
Oh, funny enough, yes, it is. What a surprise!
If as it is who's going to win the race, I'm going to say Nicky Visser, and I hope to God I did not jinx him, because I actually really want him to win the race for Red Bull.
Well, indeed, Adrian is leading the way, P1. And Nicky Visser, who we're on board with now. If I can... Oh, why can't I find... Oh, there it is. Yeah, Nicky Visser. Sorry, he's in P2. P3.
Couldn't find his name tag.
Yeah, I couldn't. P3 is John Dunkel. In P4, we have Boy Williamson. P5, we have the man that is known as Zander Hermans. In P6, we have good old Nishay Mahadwa Singh in the Renault. In 7th, we have Marcel Dronig. And yeah, if ever I wanted to become a juggler, now is the time. Marcel Dronig is in P7. Guido Erschein, well. Yeah, is in P8. So row 4. Mark Stappers in the second Ferrari there. P9, row 5. Then we have Marco Pullen in the Mercedes. He's P10. Then we have Peter Phillips in the Haas. He's P11.
He was a long way back.
Yeah, definitely. Remco Hunting in the Mercedes, actually behind his teammate. Peter Phillips is a long way back there. So,
yeah, I think Phillips went off.
Yeah, I think he must have done. So Remco Hunting is in 12. And bringing up the rear is Miguel Tordi in the Sauber. So the drivers now getting onto the starting grid. And the lights will be coming on soon for the start of this F1 tonight. NL Season 6, Race 2, Bahrain. The lights are lighting up and they are off. And Baz de Breen leads away, screeching away there. Nicky Visser already looking to apply pressure. And right behind him, right around him, because John Donkel. Oh, Boy Williamson's got up. Boy Williamson's got into the lead, and there's contact there with the McLaren, the Ferrari, the Williams are involved. Oh my goodness me! Straight away, look at that contact there. But Nicky Visser has actually pulled away. So Nicky Visser leads the way at this moment in time. Baz de Breen is in second place. John Donkel is in third. Zander Hermans in the Williams is 4. He's up 1. Nishay Mahadwa Singh up 1 to 5. Marcel Dronig up 1 to 6. Down 1 to 7. Boy Williamson up 1 to 8. Mark Stapper's up 1 to 9. Marco Pullen. Guido Urshan is down 2 to 10. Remco Hunting up 1 to 11.
So Herman's gone off turn 8.
Zander Hermans has actually gone
9,
off.
Sorry, the hairpin.
Yeah. So Zander Hermans pursuing Nishay Mahadwa Singh. Nishay Mahadwa Singh, good start from him, up into 4th place there. Good run from him. He's got John Donkel ahead of him, and he's really laying down the pressure here. Look at this as they're coming into 13, taking the inside round 12. Very interesting there. Oh, and John Donkel goes wide out of 12. Nishay is really closing down now on his gearbox. Is he going to be able to take him into this corner here? Oh, look at the 2 Williams in the background. Yes! Can he make it stick, though? Can he make it stick? They're side by side as they're coming down the straight.
Oh, John's in the pit.
John's into the pits. John's in the pits. Zander Hermans right on the tail here of Nishay. They're coming down to turn 1. Looks like he's going to try and make a move into that turn 1. Can he make it stick? Yes, he does. Gets ahead of the Renault. And Marcel Dronig. Dronig as well. Look at this, 3 abreast with the Renault there, and Boy Williamson as well. My goodness me, what are they going to do? Boy Williamson taking the inside lane. There's contact with the Renault there. I don't know if there's any damage.
No, I didn't see anything come off of Boy's car. The boy had a really terrible start on that first couple of corners. Actually went really, I think he bounced off of someone. It hit his side pod, went off to the left, and come back on P7, now fighting his way back up to P4. But great start from Visser though.
Fantastic start, I have to say. And Boy Williamson is up to 4, and he stays in his place. Nishay Mahadwa Singh up 3 though, from 7 to, from 6 to 3. Good start from him. Zander Hermans up 3 as well, from 5 to 2. And Nicky Visser is leading this race. Well, you did say. Early doors, yeah. Lap two. Early doors, Adrian. Early doors.
Yeah, really don't want to jinx him, so I don't want to talk about him too much. But he is on the medium tyre and he's 6 seconds ahead after lap 2. So good stuff so far.
Absolutely.
That was well 34.4.
So DRS is now activated.
Zander is in the pit. Previous race winner.
Indeed, fastest lap being set
by...
look at that! In the background there, that was the Zander Hermans. Zander Hermans is coming to pit. Sorry, that was Marcel Dronig.
Yeah, sorry, I just saw Marco Pullen, a massive dive bomb into turn 1. He just could not get on the brakes. Ploughed into, it looked like the side of, I think it was Dronig's car.
Yeah, definitely. Marco Pullen down in 7th place. Not having a great start to this race. Let's hope he can compose himself, get himself back together so that he can actually do something that's worthwhile here. So Marco Pullen, he's down in 7. Guido Urshan, he's in 6, so not too bad from him. Stappers is in 5. Marcel Dronig 4, Boy Williamson 3, Nishay Mahadwa Singh in 2, and Nicky Visser still leading the way at this moment in time.
Yeah, just saw a recording. Yeah, the Mercedes Marco Pullen, yeah, just really ploughed high speed into the side of droning. I'm really surprised Pullen didn't DNF from that impact. Actually, that was quite serious.
Well, at this moment in time now, Nicky Visser is 6 seconds down the road to Nishay Mahadwa Singh, and more importantly, he's on that medium set of tyres, Adrian.
Yeah, it's absolutely advantage Nicky at the moment. You could say his closest rival on pace, Baz de Brien, is he's some way back now in P9. Some 28 seconds behind him, in fact, obviously after his pit stop onto the medium tyre.
Yeah, but I think that's a good move. Obviously, I think he had also a nose change there. I think he definitely had a nose change there, actually.
Oh, 100% had a nose change, yeah.
So, but this is interesting. Okay, Baz de Brien is now in P8, but we've seen Baz in previous seasons come back from far worse positions, haven't we? And he's got the tyre to do it with as well.
Yep, one of those drivers that can just sort of come back from the dead as well. We see it. I've seen Boy Williamson do it. I've seen who else have I seen? I've seen John Dongle do it, and 100% seen Baz do it many times.
Indeed. Well,
So don't count him out.
no, definitely not. So Nicky Visser leading the way at this moment in time. That gap to Nishay Mahadwa Singh has come down a bit. It's 5.6 seconds now. No great surprise on that, because obviously Nishay is on a much faster compound tyre. He's on that red wall tyre there.
Yeah,
So
eight tenths a second faster that tyre is than the medium. So you could say that that's what he should be gaining per lap, which at the moment he's a little bit off that pace, actually gaining 3 tenths a lap.
Nishay Mahadwa Singh is in second place, but very close in behind him is Boy Williamson in that second Red Bull there, and 1.2. He's closing him down slowly but surely. It looks to me like Boy is starting to close that gap down to Nishay.
Yeah, yellow's in sector 1. I think Stappers has gone off at turn 3.
Let's quickly
Just
scroll
back on
down
the
to
track now.
Stappers. Yeah, he is back on the track. Just trying to see if he's got any damage.
I don't think so. I think
no,
it's just
no
just a
damage.
spin.
Just a spin on the track there. So Urshan for McLaren is up into that P5 position, and this could be interesting. Looking strong there at this moment for Urshan. And Marcel Dronig, he's in where am I? Oh, sorry, wrong one. He's in P4 at this moment in time in that Williams. Again, strong position from him. So yeah, this is looking very interesting indeed. We're on lap 5. Oh, sorry, lap 6 of 57. 51 laps remaining, believe you me. It seems a long way off, but these guys will make short work of it.
Urshan in the pit.
So Urshan into the pits. Now, what's he doing? I think he's going to go. Do you know what? I think he's going to go onto those mediums,
Yeah, I think he might be doing a double medium, getting rid of these softs early on, going medium. Oh no, it's another.
No, he's gone
it's
onto the medium. He's gone onto the medium.
Yeah, it took a while to update the graphic for me.
Yeah, he's gone onto the medium. John Dongle already on the medium. Baz de Brien, as we know, he's on the medium as well. He's in P7 now, so he is working his way through the field. He's 5 seconds off the back of Miguel Torni, but seems to be very rapidly closing that down, I've got to say. So Baz de Brien in the McLaren, definitely closing down.
Well, Nishay was off
Miguel
at turn
Torni.
9. Nishay went really wide turn 9, struggled to come back onto the track, lost half a second there.
Yeah, he's up to 6.5 seconds off the back of Visser again, so he has lost some. I'd say he's lost a good second plus actually on that.
Yeah, you could be right. Boy Williamson though, he's now only 1.6 behind the Renault. 1.5.
1.5, and he's closing it down. He needs to get within that 1 second mark. Just again, obviously, cover off as we normally do at the start of the season. For those of you who are unfamiliar, and I've got to say, Marcel Dronig is now, look at that, he's 3/10 off the back.
Wow.
And he's got DRS as well on Boy Williamson. I think he's going to make that move very straightforward, and DRS. Indeed, yeah,
Boy, not
slots
fighting
in. He's not, well, there's no point, is there? Ultimately, at the end of the day, he's much faster. So Marcel Dronig now has actually moved up into that P3 position. So from 4 to 3, overtake Boy, and yeah, he's definitely on a run here, Dronig. Very fast pace.
Yeah. Yeah, this is some really good form from Dronig. We're seeing. I sort of downplayed his abilities a little bit, unfairly in the sort of qualifying sessions. But yeah, he's this is brilliant stuff from Marcel.
Well, let's see what he can pull out the bag. He is definitely reining in Nishay Mahadwa Singh. He's got that DRS detection point just before they get to 14, so he wants to get under a second, and I think he might do it, although Nishay's pretty handy through these S-bends of 11 and 12.
Yeah, it's such a dangerous section though, that turn 12 especially.
So he's 1.05, 1.1. He hasn't got the speed, the straight line speed, to make up that difference and get within that DRS, just out of it. So he will not have DRS on Nishay, but then again, Nishay won't have DRS either.
No, De Bruyne is gaining massively on Tawny at the moment for P6. I think he'll do it, maybe even before the activation point. No, he doesn't go for it. It's on the medium tyre as well, Tawny on the soft.
Oh, we were talking about De Bruyne closing in on Tawny, and Tawny going onto the rough there. That's not going to help him. De Bruyne's got the DRS. Easily make that move as they come down into turn 1.
Goes past.
Oh no!
Herman.
Look at this! What a dive there! What a dive! That's Sander Hermans? My goodness me! Oh, and he's out!
And he's gone.
He's gone. Sander Hermans has gone out. Let's see if we can see him as Urshan comes round now.
I was on the exit 2. I did see it from De Bruyne's car.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in the middle of the track there. I think we might see a safety car because he is literally in the middle of the track. Let's have a look with Remco Hunting coming round now into 1. He has, I think, moved aside. No, he's still in the middle of the track. Yeah, he's stopped in the middle of the track. But no safety car and no VSC.
Yeah, I'm watching from Tawny's car. It looked like, it looked like Sander just tagged the back, or the side rather, of De Bruyne's McLaren. Spun the car sort of 90 degrees, and then Tawny ploughed his Alfa Romeo into the side of him and retired, into his front wheel. I think there's some significant damage to Tawny's car as well.
Well, there's certainly no damage to De Bruyne. Tawny, I'm just having a look at now. Just seeing him come round. Yes, he's lost the front left winglet, far left, and a couple of the others. So he's definitely got problems there. Struggling, unfortunately, at the moment, Miguel Tawny in that Sauber.
Yeah, feel bad
for Miguel, in the Alfa Romeo. I'm so used to saying Sauber. In the Alfa Romeo. So, yeah, Miguel Tawny, I'm sure, is going to be coming into the pits. Yes, indeed, he does.
Feel bad for Miguel because he was a complete passenger in all of that. The accident happened ahead of him, just a few meters ahead of him. There was absolutely no way he could possibly avoid that in a million years. And unfortunately, he's had to come in for a new wing.
Yeah, and
medium tyres as well.
Just going on to Marcel Dronig now. He's closing down on Nishay again. Round 11-12, but Nishay staying ahead of him now. This is where he's within the DRS. Remember, the DRS detection point is at the end of this straight with the activation on the start-finish straight. Only 2 corners out from here. He's definitely within that. He's 5/10 off the back of him. I think this is a good opportunity. I think we're going to see Dronig barring any error. And Nishay, look, moving right over to the right-hand side of the track. He's going into the pits. So, yep, Dronik takes the place, moves up into second. Nishay Mahendra Singh into the pits, and I'm sure he's going to go on to those medium set of tyres now.
Yeah, he should do. Meanwhile, P7, P6, De Vrien's all over the back of John Donkel now. Again, former teammates at Renault last season.
Indeed, Baz De Vrien in the McLaren, as we said. Keep an eye out, he's going to be closing down.
These two won the Constructors as well.
Yeah, these two drivers driving for Renault in season 5 won the Constructors' Championship. And, well, Donkel knows De Vrien, doesn't he? I mean, let's be fair, he knows how he drives and what he's going to be looking to do.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Both drivers capable of winning races, and in fact, they both won multiple races last season, and indeed seasons before that.
Yeah, so I think we've got a real battle on our hands here. He's within the DRS. It will be activating on the exit of this turn 10. A little bit too far out, 6 tenths, 7 tenths there. He's probably going to be able to get maybe a couple of tenths closer. But no, Donkel is, I think Donkel must be winding up that ERS there.
Yeah, Donkel's sort of mode 0. Although De Vrien's still, he's still fighting, he's still over the back of him, and still plenty of ERS in De Vrien's engine in comparison to Donkel's. Got twice as much, in fact. I think this is going to be, a pass.
Well, I don't know. I think he's a bit far off. He's five tenths off. I don't know if it's going to be enough. And he's getting into his slipstream there, getting nice and close. Donkel breaking that slipstream, but I think De Vrien's got too much speed. He's going to get ahead of him nicely round that apex. Good job there for De Vrien. And he takes...
Mahendra off in the background.
Yeah, Nishay making a mistake there, but John Donkel's not giving up. Look at this, wheel-to-wheel action now as they're coming round. Don't think John Donkel's going to let De Vrien get away with this too easy, but De Vrien is not able to close away, and Donkel's going to have the DRS now out of turn 10. This is going to be very interesting.
Yep, he's running out of ERS rapidly though, with mode 4 since De Vrien passed him. Should have enough to make it to the end of this straight at this rate, but it will struggle down the main straight, down the start and finish.
Oh. Could we be seeing a battle ensuing between these two? But interesting. Now you can see, I think, who's that? Is that Stappers? Yeah, Stappers. De Vrien is closing down on Stappers now.
Yep.
And he's got not quite got the DRS on Stappers. Donkel has 4 tenths off. I think we could see Donkel make the challenge to take that place back into this first quarter here.
He's got nothing in the engine though.
He's got 0%. Nothing, no. He can't close him down. Trying to do a bit of late braking there, not hitting the apex, and I think that's it. I think that's John Donkel's opportunity to close down now.
Yeah.
But Nishay Mahendra Singh now challenging. Nishay Mahendra Singh now challenging Donkel. Oh, trying to take the inside there. Doesn't quite make it, but see some real aggression here from Mahendra Singh, and he's really impressing me at this moment in time.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. I think he may have expected himself to be further up the field slightly than the sort of midway, the midfield positions. But yeah, no, it's really good, strong, confident driving from Mahendra Singh so far. A couple of little mistakes, but nothing major.
No, indeed. I mean, you know, considering this is probably what his sixth league race,
6th Grand Prix.
Yeah, 6th Grand Prix. Very impressive. I think he's been putting the practice in during the break, you know, Adrian.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, Boy Williamson's in the pit from P3, that was. So he's going to come out roughly. I think he's going to come out just. Well, he'll be in front of Pullen.
So
Oh,
we're
is
seeing.
Stappers in? Yeah, Stappers is in as well.
So Stapper's in as well. He's done 12 laps effectively. Well, 11 laps actually on those soft tyres. Probably more, thinking about it, because he would have done his qualifying on that as well.
Yep.
Yeah, this is looking good. Nishay still within that DRS on Donkel. Donkel is still within, well, he's got down now to DRS on the Brain as well as ahead of him. So we're seeing a bit of a battle for 3 and 4 going on here. In the meantime, Dronik pretty much on him by himself. He's 19 seconds ahead of Brian and just under 9 seconds behind Visser. But Visser, he's going to have a big old smile on his face at this moment in time. In lap 13 of 57, so we're about a quarter of the way through. But this is looking good for Visser at this moment in time, got to say.
Yeah, really good stuff. And it's these moments where you have got nobody around you, nobody's giving you any kind of pressure. These are the moments that will win you the races. If you can, control.
Just cutting back to Mahadwa Singh because he was, oh my goodness, went really, really wide out of 12. And closing down on John Donkel, he was about a 10th off the back of him. But Mahadwa Singh, he's definitely going to be challenging on this straight here.
Yeah, should do.
Good pace from that Ferrari, though, got to say.
Yeah, really good stuff. John's actually underfueled at the moment. I think he's the only driver out there who, he and Peter Phillips, only 2 drivers underfueled at the moment. So he's going to have to employ some fuel-saving techniques later on. Mahadwa Singh, though, really, again, so aggressive on the back of John's car.
And I think Mahadwa Singh quite likes that S turn there of 11-12, and if he doesn't challenge him out of 10, I think he's going to be certainly looking to make a move. We saw him earlier on actually taking the inside line around 12, and I've got a sneaking suspicion he's probably going to look to do the same on this.
Yeah, it's going to be a pass here. It's easy. Yeah. He hasn't got the engine in the Ferrari.
Oh, stays ahead of him though.
Made a bit of a hash of that.
He did, didn't he? Mahadwa Singh, I think, was getting a little bit too excited there, and on that exit there. He's just not hitting that exit, is he? It's costing him. It is costing him.
He's letting his mistakes affect him. That's what's going on here. I think his tyres are not in a great condition either. His tyres are in a good condition.
Well, 4 laps old. Yeah.
The way they were sliding around like that, although that might just be because he did go off track. But yeah, one more lap.
Again, he's challenging there. Is he going to come in again? He's taking a look. But Donkel, he's composed himself now. He's sticking to that racing line, and he's defending well, isn't he?
He is. He's really not doing too well with his ERS management though, because he's every time I look at him, he's got less than 10% in there. So he's leaving himself open by doing that. What he needs to do is just be a bit more efficient with it. Take it down in the corners and put it up on the straights, and he'll be able to defend that a little bit easier.
Yeah, definitely.
He's going to be a sitting duck sooner or later.
Well, he's got now DRS, and I think Donkel is going to lose this position now. Got to say.
Yeah, should do here.
Nishay's not going to make the same mistake into 11 as he did previously. Oh, just about keeps it in the boundaries there. But again, Donkel sees him off. And I was saying he enjoys these turns, but he's not enjoying them at the moment. Donkel seems to be mastering them far better at round 11 and 12. And look, going wide again. Yeah. Round 13.
Nishay's just picking the wrong moment to try and make his pass. I think he's made that mistake twice in 2 laps now. He needs to perhaps sit behind him around that section, then go for the overtake here. Although he might be able to get it here now anyway.
Well, he's trying. He's having a little look. Yeah, he's made the dive. Is he going to make it stick, though? Nicely round the open. But look, Donkel again, just sticking with that line. And Mohammed was saying he's lost it. He's lost it, but he's not got into the barrel. Ooh, not great
lucky
there from Mahad Singh. I've got to say, but I've got, you know, we're sitting here, obviously, armchair critics, but this guy is impressing me. He's making mistakes, yes, but, you know, it's his 7th Grand Prix, 6th or 7th. It's not any more than that. He's really shiny great. I mean, by the end of the season, he is going to be a force to reckon with if he continues in this vein.
Yeah, I mean, we compared him earlier on, didn't we, to Sander Hermans, the last race winner. And you know, in terms of the way that he's driving and the way that he's improving, and I think Nisha only lost that battle with John because of the choices that he'd made. As I said, he chose to try and overtake at turn, I think it was turn 11, twice in a row, and it didn't work both times. That led him to try and make the pass down the start finish into turn 1, but he was a bit further back than he'd have liked to have been. That put the pressure on him to try and make the pass, and then as they went round 2, he just lit up the rear wheels, which is it's all too easy to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he could have made life a lot easier for himself, and I think he will over time as he improves his racecraft.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. I think he's definitely going to be one to watch. Let's have a quick look now through the standings as they are. Nicky Visser in the Red Bull leads the way. 10, nearly 11 seconds at this moment ahead of Marcel Dronig. So, yeah, this is interesting. Marcel Dronig obviously in 2nd place. And good race here from Droning, I've got to say, and doing great guns there. He's 11 seconds, as I said, just off Visser. But who's in 3rd place? Baz de Bruijn. We said this, didn't we, Adrian? You know, this is the man that is a master of having incidents and then coming through the field. He's up to P3. Okay, he's on 15-lap-old mediums. He's a pit stop effectively behind the race leader, who's also a mediums, but he's on 17-lap-old mediums. This could be an opportunity when Visser comes in for the brand to close down that gap even more, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. What Baz has got perhaps to his advantage, or Droning's actually in the pit now, actually, from P2 onto the... he's onto another set of softs.
Softs, interesting. Well, we know that Dronig sometimes does call quite a number of pit stops. Let's see what he can actually do with that. I mean, obviously the softs have served him well. John Donkel, in the meantime, has moved up to P3. But sorry, go on.
Sorry, yeah, I was just saying about the brain. Perhaps what he's got to his advantage is, you know, arguably his raw pace around this track. I know they set very similar lap times, didn't they, in Q3?
Yeah.
Visser and de Bruijn. I think it was only a blink of an eye between them.
Yeah.
But I think de Bruijn will do those kinds of lap times perhaps a little bit more consistently than, or more frequently than Visser. Having said that, he's 26 seconds up the road, so there's a lot of mistakes that Visser's got to make for de Bruijn to overtake him. But there's a long way to go yet.
I agree. There is. I mean, we're on lap 19 of 57. We're not even coming up to the halfway mark. Where I say we're about a third of the way. We are a third of the way through this race, not to the halfway mark yet. Baz de Bruijn 26 seconds behind the race leader, Nicky Visser. John Donkel 5 seconds behind him, also on a set of medium tyres. Now, this is, I didn't expand it earlier when we were talking about, you know, the teams, etc. Real world, they got a whole team behind them telling them what to do, what the strategy will be. These guys have to determine their strategy before the race starts, obviously, as anybody does. but they also have to deal with it on the fly, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. You've got a number of things that can that can change your strategy. Not just incidents and having to put in for new wings, etc. But you know, the way your tires are degrading, it might not quite be working out the way that you had anticipated. It might be due to the sort of dirty air of the car in front. You're wearing your tyres out that bit more. You're putting yourself and the drivers around you are putting you under more pressure. So you're driving that much differently. It's all very, very different to doing sort of tests in Grand Prix mode and things to try and ascertain what the optimum strategy is. But yeah, my suggestion is to re-watch old, like the actual Formula One races, and have a look at their strategies, winning strategies, and strategies of best results from outside people who started outside the top 10 and things like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that is a good way to go, actually. And now the interesting thing is here, Droney came in. He went on to another set of softs. And he is closing down now very much on John Donkel. He's going to be challenging him very, very soon.
Well, Marcel Dronig is just at the fastest lap of the race, 33.189, which had a purple second and third sector involved in that. He's only 8 tenths off the back of John, who is on 18-lap-old mediums. And what's his ERS like? Oh, there we go. John Donkel's ERS is completely full now.
Yeah, well, he's had the opportunity to charge it up, hasn't he? During that period where he was sort of running behind in Bahrein and took advantage of it, and that's what he needs to do, because he needs to work that ERS. And we're talking ERS and DRS here. For those of you that are unfamiliar, again, I was going to touch this earlier, but the action took over. DRS is a flap that opens up on the rear wing and therefore increases the amount of airflow through the rear wing, and in return gives you extra speed. So those are the DRS activation points. That's what happens during that. The ERS. Contact there.
Just ploughed into the back of John.
Contact there, and I don't know if he's got any damage actually. Let's have a quick look actually.
Must have.
He's got to have some front wing damage, surely. Yes, he has.
Yeah, front right.
Front right.
Orange?
So, yeah, he's going to have to be coming in. Now, what do you do here? If I was Dronig, do you know what? I'd come in and go onto a set of mediums. Sorry.
Yeah, mediums should be okay. He's asking them to do 36 laps, which I think they can do. Not tested it myself yet. In fact, this race here is part of my test, so I'll be looking at these strategies and using them in the race on Tuesday.
Sorry, Boy Williamson. Boy Williamson. In the meantime, overtaking Mahadwa Singh on that DRS. Mahadwa Singh coming back. Oh, cuts the corner. Dearie me, not what you want to be doing, Nishay. So
I think that was more. That was
frustration.
Action, really.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it knew he'd missed his braking point.
Yeah, definitely. Boy Williamson now in the Red Bull has moved up into 4th place. I mean, Nishay's still there. He's 666. Oh my God, off the back of Williamson. But yeah, Williamson is definitely starting to pull away now. Good run. Williamson's on the. Now this is interesting. He's on 8-lap-old mediums. He's going to be able to go deeper than those guys ahead of him, and yeah, he could actually move up into 3rd place, quite even 2nd place actually.
Yeah, he's definitely within kind of that range now, isn't he? After that questionable start that he had, not by his own means, but yeah, he's had another one of those recovery drives, hasn't he? Because he started so high, dropped way down, and again, like Band, he's coming back up.
Yeah, Boy Williamson, sort of towards the end of the season 5, having work commitments, wasn't always able to make the qualies, but starting at the back of the pack for a number of races, and he always came through, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, frequently on the podium despite being at the back of the grid. John Donkel's actually come in. He did 19 laps on those soft tyres, those medium tyres. Sorry, he's now on the softs.
Well, that's interesting because Nicky Visser is still out, as is Baz the Bryant. And I'm looking at this, and I'm wondering if we're not going to see a 1-2 from Red Bull tonight.
I hope so. I hope so. We need the
Yes,
points.
all right, Adrian. Stop reminding us about this Super League. Just because, Red Bull didn't do so well in Australia for UK on Tuesday. Wasn't quite the race you wanted, was it, Adrian? Let's be fair.
Not really. Only
I
lasted
do
10
apologise. Sorry, we've been so involved in the action here. I'm sorry, I just want to quickly cut away. I do sincerely apologise. We've been so involved in the action, we actually missed the lap 19. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go on board with Nicky Visser, and we'll do that for this following lap. So my sincere apologies. I hope that nobody takes it as any mark of disrespect in any way, shape or form. But unfortunately, just one of those situations we got caught up in the race, in the excitement of the race there. Again, unlike our real-world counterparts in the world of broadcast, we have to rely on ourselves, and we don't have a team behind us giving us the reminder, even though I've got a very large sticky note on my screen, but still, so apologies for that. But what we'll do at the start of lap 24 is go silent as a mark of respect. RIP, rest in peace indeed, Antoine Hubert. Great driver, a great loss to the racing world, and such tragic circumstances obviously last weekend at Spa. And I know that a number of the drivers are also some racing with a pink helmet, some with black as well, again as a mark of respect. So Nicky Visser coming round now to start lap 24, and we'll go silent. So we are back now, indeed, RIP Antoine Hubert. And we're back into the race. Lap 25, Marcel Dronig is in 6th place. He's only just over a second now off the back of Mark Stappers, and he's got it. He's got in. He hasn't got the DRS though. He hasn't got the DRS, but can he close on him into this turn 11? Stappers staying ahead.
Stappers gone wide.
He has gone wide. He has gone wide. Dronig gets through. So Dronig now moves up into 5th. Stappers drops down to 6th. And he's being challenged as well by Urshan. He's being challenged by Urshan here by the looks of it.
Yeah, Urshan on the back of the Ferrari. But Boy's in for a new wing. I think during the quiet lap, he actually went off at turn 10 and broke his front wing.
Oh God, no, that is not what he wanted. And Urshan, look at this. Is he going to be able to make it? Oh, hits that apex hard. Stappers defending. Urshan on his tail though. Moves aside. He's going to be looking to try and make that move now into 4. And he does. Yeah, Urshan gets ahead of Stappers, moves up into P5.
It's a good move from
there.
Guido.
Good move.
Yeah. Considering he was sort of at a bit of an awkward angle going into turn 1, had to really slow down to about sort of 20 miles an hour, 30k, and managed to avoid contact, but then was able to immediately fight back, and that's what gave him the drive into turn 3.
And Boy Williamson here closing down. Oh, Pullen goes wide. Pullen goes wide. Oh, and Boy Williamson moves ahead. Pullen just went wide out of 10. And it's given Williamson the opportunity now to get past him. And he needs to do it all over again now, doesn't he? I mean, he's on lap 26 of 57. He's got 31 laps to go. He's not going to be able to make it on those mediums.
He's not. Well, I don't know if he is. I don't know. Look, this is still not pitted in. He's done 25 laps now, coming up for half of the race.
Yeah, but look at that. Sorry, Williamson goes wide that time. And Pullen's got the opportunity to close down on him now into turn 1.
No energy. No energy in the car.
And he's got the right side of the corner. Oh,
that outbraked himself.
And he hit that badly there. Oh, he had a great opportunity there, Pullen, but unfortunately didn't quite get it on that braking, did he?
No, he just left it a little bit too late. It actually looked like Boy braked early, but no, it was actually Marco braking a little bit late there. Miguel Torney, the other Alpha, is crashed into the wall.
Oh dear, yeah.
Turn.
Oh, that's a lot of damage he's got there. That was out of 9. That was out of 9. They're coming down to 10. Yeah, and he's got. Just trying to see. Yeah, he's lost. Funnily enough, he's lost the winglets sort of towards the middle of the front wing. I think. Has he?
Yeah. Yeah, he has. Yeah.
That's rather odd. Normally you'd use the sort of the end plates on the wings, but yeah, he's got damage definitely there, and it's not Torney, unfortunately. He's not having the race he'd like to have, is he?
No, I can't imagine he's enjoying being in that car this evening.
No, not quite where he wants to be. Good driver, consistent driver, certainly I would say in previous seasons, isn't he?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, spent a long time in Toro Rosso actually with Peter Phillips, who's the P11 at the moment.
So Miguel Torney currently in P12. P11 is Peter Phillips in that Haas. Pretty much doing his own thing there.
Yep. The race leaders have both come in, by the way, at the end of 26 and Debris in at the end of 25. Both on the mediums and now on the softs. So it's a two-stop strategy then, surely, for those two drivers.
It's got to be, but Donkel is close on the heels of Debris now. So Donkel is closing that down, and he is on slightly older softs, so he needs to take advantage, but I don't know, I don't think he's going to be able to close down enough. He's 1.1 off the back of Debris, hasn't got the DRS detection, so he will not have DRS in the state. I think Donkel's missed a bit of an opportunity there.
Yeah, but yeah, and again, I keep mentioning it, it's got to come down to ERS management. It's so important on most tracks, if not all tracks, really. And yeah, if you don't get it right, especially over these long distances, these 100% races, yeah, you can really sort of lose time. You can finish races sort of 2 minutes slower than everyone else if you haven't got your ERS mapped correctly.
Okay, so now this is interesting. I'm just having a quick look through the field here and the tyre choices. I'm looking at these two. I think Debris has definitely responded to this, so I don't know if that may have been a programmed pit stop. I don't think it was, because obviously he had that issue right at the beginning of the race. So I think Visser may be looking at a two-stop with the softs for this stint and the following stint. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I think that's the way forward for Visser. Yeah, I think that's what's in his mind as well. I think that Visser may be the only one who's actually on the strategy that he had planned to be on.
Yeah.
I think others have had to make choices or make alternative choices based on what's been happening around them and to them.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree on that, and I'm just having a quick. I'm just trying to sort of scan through this at the moment in time, but I don't know. Is Urshan as well? I mean, is he in for? He's not in for a shout there because he's on the medium 22 laps. 23 laps is when Visser came in. Was it? Oh no, it was more than that, wasn't it?
No, 27.
26
is Visser.
26, yeah.
And 25 for the Bahrein.
Yeah, this is definitely interesting. We've got 28 laps left of this race, so we are halfway through this race here. This is F1 Tonight NL, and we are here in Bahrain, Season 6, Race 2. And I've got to say, it's been a bit of a nail-biter this evening, Adrian.
It has for me.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But, I mean, you know, we've seen some great moves. We've seen some brave moves. We've seen some not so sure about that moves.
Questionable moves.
You know, bit of diving into some corners, some late braking. But I just can't help sort of thinking about what you were saying earlier on with regards to you know, the rumble strips and the curbs here that much higher, and we have actually seen we've seen a couple of cars bounce across those in a very sort of bouncy way.
Dramatic way, I probably would have
Dramatic. That was the one I was looking. Thank you, Adrian, for backing me up on that one.
Yeah, you're not normally short of a few words.
I'm not normally short of a few words. You're right, but words fail me on that one. But yeah, we have seen that, and it has actually come into play, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, we saw earlier on. You know, Staffers went swimming.
Yeah.
Which probably will be the.
Was that turn
headline
4, the swim pool turn, by any chance, Adrian?
Yeah, that it was actually. Yeah. Just went for a bit of a, just cooling off.
A little bit of a dip, dipped his feet in, thought, no, that's a bit chilly. I think I'll get back on track.
But yeah, it has been a very kind of dramatic race so far, and we're only halfway through at the moment, so plenty of things could happen.
Oh, good, yeah. As I love to say, anything can happen, and it probably will. So we're just riding on board with Mark Stappers. You know, respectable. He's going to be in the points, maintaining that place. And we saw Stappers, and I know we've made reference, obviously, to the difficulty level that he's driving at. It's under his own choice. And but he has progressed, hasn't he? I mean, through last season, start of this season, there is definitely progression there. It may not be as marked as some other drivers, but I guess he's got a lot more to contend with, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's been perhaps a slower improvement than we've seen from other drivers, perhaps younger drivers. But it's still been a steady improvement nonetheless. In the time that I've been watching him, I've seen him race at least sort of 30, 35 races with F1 tonight, and he's impressed me each one.
Got to say, likewise from myself on that, and I think he's going to make his mark this season, but I think I've got a sneaky suspicion that next season, season 7, is going to be Stappers' time.
I'll hold you to that.
Yeah, you do that. Boy Williamson is currently in 7th place, and he was looking so good for a potential podium there. All went horribly wrong for him on that turn 10. Went wide, obviously, from what you were saying, and that was on lap 24. But he's going to struggle now to come back from that, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, well, we were talking earlier on about a possible 1-2 for Red Bull, weren't we? But yeah, it's I think he just likes to make races interesting for himself, because I don't know how many times I've seen him come back from last, or starting last and end up on the podium, and there's always something that will happen to Boy during a race, whether it's his own fault or someone else's or whatever, just bad luck. Yeah, he just seems to have more interesting races, I suppose, than perhaps other drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've just gone back to Peter Phillips. He's moved up to P10, just made the move on the Mercedes of Remco Hunting. And yeah, he's going to be happy with that. He's got into the points now, and that's the important thing. Taking that 10th place from Remco Hunting, and he does look as if he's pulling away from him as well. He's 43 seconds down the road to P9, Nishay Mahadwa Singh. But the important thing is he's in the points. And that's what he needs, because points make prizes.
That's right. And not just that, but he might be P10, he might be a lap and a half down on the leader, but he's still racing and he's still giving it everything. He wants that championship point. Yeah,
and this is important. Never ever give up. I remember I think it was some time ago. I remember Hamilton being interviewed, and God, I can't remember which race it was now, but his attitude was, no, you just never give up. You keep going, and because you never ever know what's going to happen on that track, and anything can happen. We saw it at the start of this race. That little bit of chaos there, and it's had an effect. Everything has an effect, and knock-on effect. And this is what I love to see: is guys, you may not be up there, but don't give up.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who knows me will know that I'm not a particular fan of Hamilton's, but I 100% respect his attitude to his races. That he doesn't give up. He races so hard all the way to the end. So no matter what position he's in, he's racing for the win.
Boy Williamson now making the move on Stappers into turn one.
Very wide.
And it's good, but Stappers, he's fighting, but he didn't get the exit out of 2 that he wanted, so Williamson moves up into P5. He's got his next target 12 seconds down the road to him, and that's Dronig. He's on 12 lap old soft, so he should overtake him in the pits, and I was saying, Boy Williamson, is he gonna be able to do it? Is he gonna be able to come back? And I'm just looking at this now. He's got Marcel Dronig ahead of him on 12 lap old softs. He's got John Donkel another 3 seconds ahead of him on 11 lap old softs. He's going to overtake both of those guys when they come into the pits, and he's going to move up into P3.
Yeah, and he might be able to make it to the end. I think it's a big ask.
I think it is a big ask.
Possibility.
I mean, Adrian, we've got 23 laps remaining. He's going to have to go 31 laps. A little bit twitchy. Round 12 there. Nearly lost it. Nearly lost it. Good control from Boy there. That turn 12 can be, it can be a little bit squirty, let's say.
I don't know if I to use that expression, but yeah, I know what you mean.
But he's looking good to actually, potentially take that P3 on the podium now, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he will. I actually do legitimately think he will. It'll be Visser, Debris, and Williamson celebrating.
Adrian, will you please stop casting your Super League? Take off those Super League goggles, Adrian.
Sorry. I mean, I need to be. What's the word? You
need to be chilled, my friend. Chilled is the word you're looking for. But yeah, it is important, But Adrian, I mean, that Super League. In this case, there's 4 in the team, so you need to deliver on Tuesday at Bahrein, my friend.
I do. I need to, yeah, I need to sort of redeem our half of the constructors, and yeah, just actually score some points. Both me and my teammate Thomas Cook, aka Spear Cookie, yeah, both DNF'd in that race, unfortunately. Although Tom had a bit of not an excuse, but a better reason than I had.
Bit of an
excuse. he was racing injured. His thumb was.
Yes, he had
says
injured
broken,
his
I think it was sprained.
sprained thumb. I've heard of some injuries, I've got to say, but saying that, once I actually broke my big toe and I couldn't drive for about well, almost a month actually. Yeah, on my right foot. I couldn't. When it came to braking, accelerating was fine. It was braking that was a killer. So we're with Marcel Dronig at this moment in time in the Rocket Williams. He's 14 seconds behind John Donkel. He's on those soft tyres, as we were saying. He's undoubtedly going to be pitting. He might pit ahead of Donkel. It depends what Donkel's going to do. He's I don't know, how deep do you think Donkel's going to go on these soft tyres?
Well, there's what, 21 laps of the race remaining. He's done 13, so that's a total of 34 laps he's asking. So if he can get those tyres 4 more laps or so to 17, that means he'll only have to do 17 to finish the race, which is more than reasonable. That'll be fine. So I think he'll be coming in at the end of perhaps at the end of 40, and still with the ERS still not managing it down to absolute 0%.
Adrian, I've got to
really
say, this is your bugbear, isn't it? And it's always a bugbear with John as well. I've noticed. Season 5, you were saying the same thing. But you are right. I mean, you really do have to manage that ERS, but it is tricky. I mean, it comes to some easier than others. When you're concentrating on the driving and then messing about with your buttons. I mean, I've got to be honest. I mean, I'm not at the level, obviously, of these guys. I'm reasonable, but I'm not certainly at the level of these guys. And I just hate having to change from rich to to not down and then ERS. I just stick my ERS on automatic. I've got to say.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we can't use automatic ERS in F1 tonight, so we have to manage it.
Oh, you telling me that I'm going to have to practice for season 2 without it now?
I'm afraid so. I'm afraid so. You're going to have to actually fiddle with buttons.
Oh, God, no. You just made it so much more difficult.
Well,
although, that said, I mean, my aim is to race in season 2 of F1 Tonight UK. But I'll be honest, if I don't make the mark, I won't do it. And I've got a horrible feeling now that I've said that there's going to be a number of people putting out some hexes so that I don't, actually.
I don't have a problem racing with you. It's all them others.
Yeah. All I can say is, Adrian, I know you don't. Baku!
Yes, all right.
For those of you that are not in the know, I've got to say, this is my only opportunity and chance. So, yeah, I actually did do a better time at Baku a few weeks back than Adrian.
Yes, okay. Well done. Well done.
I'm not going to mention. I'm not going to mention France and the other track that you put on there where you whooped my ass. But there you go. Ooh, John Donald power sliding around the corner there.
I was about to say, he was sliding around there. Marcel Dronig as well has also come into the pit just now.
He has. He's gone on to the mediums.
It's gone on to the mediums. That said to me that he probably didn't have another set of softs to go on to, which would be a little bit strange.
But hang on, I'm looking at this. Am I seeing correctly? Nishay Mahendra Singh is on the white wall hards.
He is. He is the only driver in the race.
He's done 13 laps now. We missed that. We missed that because it's a little bit difficult, certainly from my point of view, the screen size that I'm working with at this moment in time. I'm not looking at the main screen, but yeah, I missed that actually. He's gone on to the hard tyres. He's got 13 laps on those. He could definitely go to the end on this, and that's going to be very interesting indeed because he's very likely going to jump up to P5.
Yes, he could do. Yeah, he could do.
Ooh, and Remco Hunting,
because-
sorry, Remco Hunting
No,
has
it's okay.
DNF'd, and I'm not too sure where that is. Let's go a bed with Miguel Torney. So Remco Hunting in the Mercedes is out, but good run, Remco. Keep going, don't give up. Can't see any yellows.
No, it's
Torney.
47 seconds between Remco
it
and
is.
Miguel Torney.
So it's definitely sector 3 that he's gone off. So not too sure what happened there. But Adrian, sorry, yeah, carry on.
Yeah, what was I saying?
I have no idea, that's why I asked you to carry on.
Oh no, it was about Nishay's tyres. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on those hard tyres. He's actually stopped twice already. He went soft, hard. He may have been able to get away with doing this soft, hard run, so just one stop. But I'm trying to think back if he actually had damage. Oh, that's no, he spun, didn't he? He spun with.
He did spin, but he didn't seem to have any damage on the car, and he went into the wall, but he didn't seem to have any damage, not on that front wing. He didn't seem to make contact, but he did make contact, obviously, with the car. Oh, no, it wasn't. No, he didn't make contact. So, yeah, this is... But, ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, he's not going to have to stop. He's got 2 cars ahead of him. He needs to get past Dronig, though, doesn't he? This is the thing. He does need to get past Dronig.
Yeah. And that's easier said than done because Dronig's on fresh medium tyres, so he's already 8/10 a lap faster effectively on paper, and he's 2.4 seconds up the road, and you have to say that gap is probably only going to increase. The only drivers that is because he's on 25 lap old mediums, so if come in, he will really struggle.
Stappers
and indeed,
is coming now.
He's in the pit now.
Yeah, Stappers is in
Yeah, he's
now.
in the pit,
So Dronig is going to take that place as he does. Ahadul Singh then moves up to P7. Pullen, he's currently in P5. Now he's on 20 lap old mediums. He's definitely going to have to be coming in. Williamson, he's on 14
he could come
lap.
in now.
He could, yeah, probably be probably would be a good move actually, and get onto a set of softs. But then again, it depends what his allocation is and whether he's actually got any set available. But Boy Williamson, he's now in P4. He's 22 seconds behind Donkel. Donkel is going to have to pit, so he will get ahead of Donkel, and he'll probably be about a good 3-4 seconds ahead of him. But he's going to have to take advantage of that because he's going to have Donkel closing down on him. This is going to be very interesting to see this fight that's going to happen, and it is going to happen between Williamson and Donkel, isn't it?
Yeah, and Boy will be desperately trying to manage his tyres to make them last the 31 laps that they'll have to have done by the end of the race. Meanwhile, John will be on fresh softs, so yeah, expect tons of pressure from the Ferrari. It'll just be interesting to see how Boy handles it.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what I'm sort of envisaging in my mind's eye at this moment in time. So we are on lap 40 of 57. We're on board at this moment in time with Boy Williamson. He's in P4. He's got a good possibility of getting onto that podium, but he's going to have to be fighting off that Ferrari for the closing stages. It's going to be it's a big ask. It is a big ask, but certainly worth it if he can pull it off. Let's see how that is going to develop. So only 16 laps remain. Oh, very wide out of 9 there, wasn't he?
Oh, incredibly. Managed to hold on.
Yeah, definitely wide out of there. Don't know if he's having any issues with those tyres or what's happening there.
Okay.
So he's in. John Donkel now on 19 lap old softs. How deep do you think Donkel's going to be able to go on these softs, Adrian? Not too many more, I think.
Yeah, as I said earlier on,
When you said lap 40, but he stayed out there.
Lap 40. Yeah, I'm not too sure what he's gaining from from taking them a few more laps. Because at the end of
Williamson
the day,
is
he's still
starting to
got
close down
he
on
will
him
have to
now as
pit.
well.
Yeah, and he will, because John's tyres will start to fall away. Boys won't be in great condition, but 19 lap old softs are definitely a lot worse than 16 lap old mediums.
Yeah. So I suspect he's going to have to be coming in now. Maybe he's just looking to get into that, that 15 window. I don't know, but I suspect he's going to be coming in at the end of this lap. Or maybe he was just looking to see if he could actually get ahead of Williamson for that pit stop. That's probably more likely what he was trying to do. He's trying to get over that sort of 24, maybe 25 mark. But it isn't going to happen.
Yeah, maybe. What I find sometimes actually during my practice races is that occasionally I lose track of what lap I actually came in, so I'm sometimes unaware of how many laps I've done on a tyre and then obviously how many laps there are to go. So yeah, John may be thinking he might need to get a few more laps more done before he comes in. No, he's in now.
He's in now. I thought he would be. So John Doncourt comes into the pits.
Bahrein in as well.
And De Bruyne as well. So De Bruyne is in as well now. This is very interesting. I mean, Visser's just laughing his socks off here. He's 35 seconds ahead of De Bruyne. He's got no worries there. But that said, we have seen Nicky in this situation before, and it hasn't ended well.
I really don't want to talk about it.
Take those Red Bull glasses off.
Yeah, well, we've said it before, and we've seen it happen so many times. To race leaders, they can, especially Nicky, things can happen. And there are still 15 laps, and it's going to be 15 long laps before the end of this race. I think he's going to be coming in. Okay, I thought he might have been coming in then, 15 laps, old tyres with 15 laps to go, but he's going to do one more, it looks like.
Well, I think he's in a position where he can. He's 55 seconds down the road now from De Bruyne. Obviously, that will still go back. He'll still be about 30 seconds ahead, even after he pits. I've gone on board now with John Doncourt. John Doncourt, indeed, obviously, came out behind Boy Williamson, and it was round about the 3-second mark. He is starting to close that down now. Yeah, this is going to be the interesting one. I don't know. I think it is a big ask from Boy. I mean, I'd already written him off about 10, 12 laps ago, I think. But that said, he's got a real fight on his hands now. 14 laps. Well, Doncourt hasn't caught up to him. It's probably going to be about another, couple of laps. So he'll be down to 12 laps. Is he going to be able to fend off this Ferrari for 12 laps on, let's face it, highly depleted mediums?
Yeah, it's going to be really, really difficult. John's got completely full ERS now and completely fresh tyres. Low fuel in the car now at this stage for all drivers, obviously. And it should be advantage John.
Sorry,
should be fairly easy move.
Go back to Marcel Dronig here, because Marcel Dronig is actually closing down on the back of the Mercedes of Marco Pullen as they're coming down to turn 9, and he's going to have the DRS. He's only just under 6/10 off the back of that Mercedes. He's going to have it on here. We've seen Pullen struggle round 10 before, but good turn there from Pullen. 5/10 ahead. I don't know if Dronig's actually activated his DRS there. I don't think he did, I'm
not sure. I didn't see the flap open.
No. So he is closing down on the back of Pullen though. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Now this is important. The important points here for Williams. Dronig obviously missed out last week in Australia, so it's really important now that he gets there, because Sander Hermans went out early with that interesting move, but Pullen moves aside. He's into the pits, so Pullen's into the pits. Dronig takes that P5 place. Valuable points there for the Rocket Williams team, isn't it?
Sorry, yeah, and John Dockle, I think, is about to take P3.
Yeah, John Donkel, indeed.
Maybe.
He's right on the tail here of Boy Williamson. Now, again, another one to point out is when you're this close to the guy in front and you're braking into corners, you don't have any brakes, basically.
No. No, you have to really rely on. You have to really rely on getting your braking point exactly right. Because if you're even a tenth late, it'll be curtains.
Yeah, not only that, you've obviously got the dirty air from the car in front of you, which highly affects your braking capacity as well. But look at this, he is riding. I mean, this is this is close. This is very close. Look at you a little shot there on the broadcast cam, and you can see Boy just trying to break that toe, trying to break that stream there that Donkel's got on him, and that's what he's going to have to do, and he's got to do it for 12 laps.
Yeah,
he's in. Yeah,
is he in?
Williamson's come in, and I'll tell you what, I think that's a good move. And if he goes onto a set of softs, this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and of course he will. Yeah, he will go on to softs with just 12 laps left, and he'll be fighting back for P4.
Yeah.
Presumably.
Well, P4, but again, anything can happen. You know, we said earlier on, never give up, and you know, he's gone onto a set of softs. He's given himself a fighting chance, and you don't know what's going to happen ahead. Anything can happen.
No, that's right. Yeah, absolutely right. And it was it was sensible to come in there and abort the battle with John, because there's absolutely no way he would have been able to keep that up for 12 more laps.
No, there was no way, and it was quite clear. But he made the right call, and this is the thing. You know, it's not. You know, you see some drivers that are just determined, no matter what tyre they're on, just to stay ahead of the guy that's behind them. It's going to be challenging them for that potential podium. You've got to have you know, a sound head on your shoulders to say, no, look, I'm not going to be able to do this. Let's get in, give myself a fighting chance, get onto a set of softs, get out there and make it that bit better. Yeah,
that's right. It takes I suppose a certain level of race maturity, I suppose, to be able to make that call and just kind of abandon what's going on immediately in front of you and focus on the bigger picture.
Yeah, absolutely. In the meantime, I'm just going to quickly go back to Nishi Mahadur Singh on those hard compound tyres. He's got up to P5, so that's where we were looking for him to go. But interestingly, he's 5 seconds, 5.5 seconds off the back of Dronig. And we said, you know, that he's got a challenge there. I'm just trying to think. I mean, Dronig's only got, what, 11 laps. He'll be on 20-lap-old mediums. No, he's pretty safe.
Yeah.
But those hard compound tyres do have, let's say, a sweet spot, a window, where they really do come alive. And Mahadur Singh is more or less, I would think, within that sort of that area now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's not gaining on droning, but yeah, I mean, he's not falling back too far either. I mean, he's losing a couple of tenths a lap to him. He will certainly lose the position, I imagine, to Boy. He's only 4 seconds off the back of him now.
Yeah, Boy will definitely be closing on him very, very rapidly indeed. But yeah, it's
Marco. So
yeah,
sorry, I was just going to say Marco Pullen as well. He came in a lap before Boy. He may pose a threat to Nishi come the sort of last couple of laps.
Yes, he could well do, because he's only 14 seconds at this moment off the back of Nishi, and you rightly say he's on the set of softs. He could well challenge us as well, so we could potentially see Mahadur Singh drop back down to 7. It's going to be interesting to see how that pans out, but Boy is definitely going to have to make a move on him. He's closing it down though, isn't he? I mean, he's 3.5 seconds now, so he should be with him in what? Sort of round about lap 50, I guess.
Yes, yeah, about there. Yeah, 50, and then at lap sort of 56. Yeah, it'll be Mahadur Singh against Pullen.
Well, this is going to be very, Interesting indeed. In the meantime, and let's have a look at our potential podium finishes. John Donkel, well, he's in P3 at this moment in time. He's only, what, 4.2 seconds off the back of Bahrein, but I don't know. It doesn't look like he's eking out a lot from him at this moment in time. It's looking fairly stable, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the top three are pretty much set as they are. I mean, I could see a battle evolving between Bahrein and John for P2, but yeah, I mean it's fairly unlikely. In fact, Bahrein is actually pulling away. Bahrein actually set the fastest lap that lap.
He is
just taking it away from Nicky.
Yeah.
To 30.2 to 0.247 with Bahrein.
So I think Donk will basically sit there, see what happens, and hope for the best, basically. Then Brian, obviously, he's in P2 now, and yeah, I mean, great race from him. He came from the back. We said, you know, yeah, he's going to come through. That was a foregone conclusion, I think, really. Great result. I mean, okay, he's 30 seconds off Visser, but good points to be had there, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Mahavdrasing's actually come into the pit.
Yeah, he has, and he's gone to a set of softs.
So, yeah.
So, okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. He knows that. I mean, looking at it, we said he's going to end up in P7. This now does put somewhat of a different complexion on it. He could actually come back from this. It all depends on what the gap is going to be to Stappers and pulling ahead of him. I mean, he's only got 8 laps, so he's gonna, if he can get to Stappers, at least he's going to secure that 7th place anyway. So he's got nothing to lose, really, has he?
No. You could say perhaps he just wants to fight for his P7 and win rather than fight to try and hang on to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So good shout from him again. I mean, that does show some thought there. So, but Nicky Visser, well, what can you say? I mean, sublime race from him. I mean, he had the opportunity right at the start, you know, to make up that. He was obviously in that front row, but took full advantage of it. I thought Boy was actually going to get ahead of Den Brain on that turn 1, but Visser stuck with it. He's led all the way through this race. He hasn't put a foot wrong so far, has he? I mean, you know,
no,
it's coming up to 7 laps
flawless.
remaining.
So Mahavdrasing just takes P7 away from Stappers there down the start and finish into 1. But yeah, Nicky's just had a completely flawless race. It's probably the best performance I've ever seen from him, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah,
I've not seen him dominate a race like this at all.
No, so, I've got to say,
really,
you're
really
right.
good stuff.
It is a fantastic, and you know, and great points, obviously, for Red Bull, because Boy, okay, he's down in P5 at this moment in time, but he's going to be challenging Dronig before the close of this race. I suspect he's going to move up into P4. So, you know, great for the Red Bull team. It's going to make a big difference to them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it will mean a lot. And I think actually Boy's going to set the fastest lap for the race this lap as well. Just sort of really shows intention.
To get that extra point that's available this season.
It's not quite fast enough. It's a 35.99. It's a 30.2 to beat. But yeah, still nonetheless, yeah, fantastic performance from both the Red Bull boys.
And they need it, because I mean they've only got 1 point in the constructors at this moment in time, so this is really going to help them out. And obviously we haven't got their sister team of Toro Rosso with us, Davey Hartman and Hans van der Berg with us this evening. They're currently,
that's a strong team.
That is a strong team. I mean, they're on 27 points. They are leading the championship after Australia. But this does give the opportunity for Red Bull to get back in there as well, and for Boy and Nicky to move back into that top 10 drivers. So yeah, a lot here, and I can't help it. But okay, I know it's only race 2, but this does go back to what I was saying earlier. I think this is going to be a hard-fought, tight season. This season 6.
Yeah, I think the teams, particularly in F1 tonight, Netherlands, are really, really well kind of balanced. Yeah, I think it's going to be. Pretty tight.
Yeah, Miguel Torni just coming out on the pits, and he's had to go onto the mediums. I'm sure that's his final allocation of tyres there, basically. So may not have been what he wanted to, but at least they'll get him round the track. At this moment in time, he's sitting in P11, and he's out of the points, but never give up. There he is. He's going all the way. He's out there.
Yeah.
And in all sincerity, track-wise, he's got no chance at all of picking up a point. But he's sticking with it. And I'm sorry I'm labouring this, but it just goes to what I would love to see. Well, not love to see. I wouldn't love to see it. But what happens if Peter Phillips DNFs? He hasn't given up. He could have gone into the pits, quit, said, no, that's it. I'm not going to get any points. Forget it. But he's there because, there is the potential that, something could happen ahead and he could get into that P10 position and pick up that point.
That's right. All it takes is one driver in the field to DNF, and that's it. That's a 3 point for Tawny for his efforts.
Yeah.
So, Tawny wouldn't be in the league if he wasn't trying to win points all the time. So
yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. So Miguel Tawny, he's in P11. P10, as we were saying, obviously, is the Haas there of Peter Phillips. Solid race. That's Peter. I mean, Peter, I could say one thing about him. He's consistent. May not be the fastest, but he's consistent. And again, that has helped him out because he's always placed, reasonably well in the seasons from a driver points point of view.
Yeah. I've watched Peter Phillips for some time now, and his time will come. I've no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I don't quite know when it will be.
Yeah.
It might be it might be a little way off just yet, but it absolutely will arise.
Yeah, I couldn't concur more on that actually, Adrian. So Peter Phillips for Haas is in P10. Guido Urshan, not the race he was looking for, unfortunately, and he's another one a bit like Nicky, really. He's got a lot of luck, and again, it's bad though, isn't it? Well, it certainly has been in preceding seasons. But he's in the points, so he's picking up championship points, and it'll all work towards. I mean, at the moment they are leading the Constructors' Championship. He's currently sitting second after that win in Australia. So, he's still going to be in that top 10 and still in with a fighting chance. It may not be the race he wanted to have, but he's going to need to keep pushing and pushing hard and work his way up this championship for this season.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, as I say, McLaren lead in the championship at the moment, and if the race finishes like this, they'll still be leading the championship. It'll be 20 points added to their total for Debris and Urshan, finishing second and ninth respectively. So, I mean, fair play to Urshan. He's again another driver who doesn't give up easy. He had a brilliant race last race with his second place finish.
Yeah.
Not so brilliant this time round, but he's still in. He's still picking up points in the races that he's not doing well on.
Indeed. And we're with Mark Stappers now, who is in P8 in that Ferrari. And again, Stappers, P8, not necessarily where he wanted to be. He finished 7th last week in Australia, picked up some valuable points. He finishes 8th, he'll pick up 4 points. That'll put him on 10. So, looking good, staying within the top 10 on the drivers. And, as I said, we said earlier, I think he's going to be a man to watch for this season as well. I think he's he's gonna be delivering some very interesting results, I think, for this season.
Yeah, with Stafford, yeah. I mean, P6, P7, P8. That's normally where he is pretty much every race, and I think that's only gonna improve over the course of this season. I expect at least a podium from him before the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, sorry, and Marcel Dronig in the meantime has overtaken John Donkel.
John Donkel's coming to the pit.
John Donkel's coming into the pits. Yeah, he's come into the pits. I'm surprised, I've got to say, but maybe he just couldn't deliver. He couldn't deliver on those tyres. I don't know. He was on soft tyres.
Yeah.
He must have had an issue. He must have had an issue there. So this has mixed it up, and this just again. Now look at this. Now look at this. We got Marcel Dronig.
Could be on for a podium.
Yeah, Marcel Dronig is in P3. He's looking good for a podium. There's 2 laps remaining. Okay, 2 laps remaining. But behind him is Boy Williamson, and Boy Williamson is only 1.3 seconds off the back of him, and he's on a set of soft tyres.
John's got so much ERS. John's got loads of ERS. He's got triple the amount that Boy's got.
Yeah, and John is still there. And John is still there, isn't he? He's come in. Sorry, I was just looking at that. John's come in, but he is so close in behind there. And we'll sort of... Oh, God, this is tight. He's gone on to another set of softs. And that's why he was looking to do this, I guess. Look at this. Yeah. Side by side. Is there any contact there? I don't know. Was there any contact there, Adrian?
No, there wasn't. No. Good respect between the 2 drivers. Both left each other.
Yeah, and Boy has just slotted in behind John Donkel now as they're coming down to turn 1. And there was me saying, you know, there's Boy challenging. But now John Donkel came out, and we were questioning that move, but it was absolutely perfect from John Donkel.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff. I think what Boy has to hope for now is that John fails to manage his ERS, and Boy can pass him down the start and finish straight. But I think that's going to be a big ask now, because John is really on fire at the moment.
Well, John Donkel is closing down round 9 on Marcel Dronig. He's going to try and see if he can make the move before they get round 10. Oh, this is close here.
Close the door on him.
He has closed the door on him in a very affirmative way. No, you shall not pass.
Well, he's got past now.
He has now. So John Donkel moves up to P3. Dronig drops to 4. Williamson is now 1.1 seconds off the back. And oh, dearie me. This is going to be tough. We've only got 2 laps remaining now. We're on lap 56. This is F1 tonight, Netherlands, and what a race we got here for this season 6 race 2 at Bahrain. At this moment in time, Boy Williamson just a second off 4th place Marcel Dronig. He's 8 tenths off the back of John Donkel, who's in P3. Anything can happen, and it probably will, but we'll see. We've got 1.5 laps remaining now. John Donkel is really giving it all he can. Marcel Dronig trying to stay ahead of Williamson and succeeding at this moment in time. Oh, this is...
Dronig must be under... Dronig's under immense pressure because he was in P3 just a lap ago. Under massive pressure from John. He's soon going to be under massive pressure from Boy. I really do feel bad for him because he's had an absolutely amazing race.
He has had an absolutely fantastic race, Dronig. He really has. But Williamson is now within that second. Oh, yeah, he did have it. So this is really important now for Williamson. There's some very valuable points to be had here. You know, 2-point difference for the places, but 2 points can make all the difference in the championship. Oh, look at this, and they're coming round now, the final lap. Final lap now. Oh, I want to stay here with Boy. Can he do it? Oh, I don't know. Let's cut now to Vissa. Visser coming round turn 11 into 12 for his final lap now. Nicky Visser in the Red Bull, looking so good at this moment in time. Driven a fantastic race, start to finish. He has, well, a perfect race, Adrian. Perfect race from Visser.
Yeah, flawless, just completely flawless, that one. That was really textbook.
Fantastic, and Visser takes the win here in Bahrain. Baz Den Breen is coming round now. He will be taking second place on that podium, just coming round 13, and that's the gap that he had, 38 seconds. I mean, that is fantastic run, isn't it? I mean, that is really, that sends a big message to the rest of the drivers there.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Just so on form. Huge gap.
Baz Den Breen takes second place.
P2.
Fantastic job from him. John Donkel coming down now towards the final set of turns into 14. John Donkel for Ferrari.
Fighting for P4. I don't think he can do it.
He takes, oh, Marcel Dronig! Marcel Dronig takes 3. John Donkel's got penalties. Oh,
Look
what
at
a
that gap.
fantastic run there. Fantastic. Marcel Dronig gets on the podium, drives a clean race. John Donkel gets points. Marcel Dronig finishes 3rd on the podium. John Donkel is 4th. Boy Williamson 5. Marco Pullen 6. Nishay Mahadur Singh 7. Mark Stappers 8. Guido Urshan 9, 10 Peter Phillips and Miguel Tordi bringing up the rear there in 11. But what a fantastic result there for Marcel Dronig.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, he deserved that. Donkel though lost out on the podium by 1/10.
Oh my goodness me, 1/10. That is, well, yeah. But you know, that's what happens. We saw this happen before. Fantastic. We saw it happen on Tuesday with the UK guys in Australia, but what a fantastic result. Nicky Visser, he's going to be saying, thank God at long last it's going my way. Nicky Visser.
You know, he deserves it.
Oh, he definitely deserves it. Started P2, finishes P1, and a deserved 25 points for him. 18 points going to Baz Den Breen and McLaren. Marcel Dronig in the Williams, though. Happy man. He picks up 15 points. And very happy. And there you have it. It was only one penalty. One penalty that cost John Donkel that 3rd place and that podium finish. Amazing.
It's just so harsh. But,
absolutely
that's what happens.
Amazing. But yeah, that is what happens indeed. So there we have the results. Adrian, we're going to have to call for driver of the day, and I don't know what your thoughts are. Unfortunately, I haven't checked my WhatsApp, but I'm thinking Visser.
Yep. If you check your WhatsApp, I said Visser as well. So, yeah. great minds think alike there.
Yeah, fools seldom differ though, Adrian. So Nicky Visser gets driver of the day and the win here at Bahrain. We hope you've enjoyed the race. I certainly have. To be honest, I don't care whether you've enjoyed it because I have. So a great result there. Next week we will be in China, will we not?
That's right. Yep. Look forward to that one.
So Chinese
and
Grand
F1
Prix.
Tonight UK on Tuesday.
Yeah, calm down, Adrian. Calm down, I'm getting there. So Tuesday evening, so it's Tuesday the 10th, starting at 7:30, we have the F1 Tonight UK League Season 1 Race 2 here in Bahrain. Make sure you don't miss that. And then a week today, on the 12th of September, we will be in China with F1 Tonight Netherlands. thank you very much. We hope you've enjoyed it. As I say, I certainly have. So it's a good night from me.
And good night from me. Thank you, as always, Eddie.
Good night, all.